Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. How are you doing this morning, Empress G?
Grand Rising, Brother Lance. I am doing fabulous. How you doing? How's it going this morning?
Good. Just want to let everybody know that this is not pre-recorded. This is live.
For those yes. And, we are live.
That's a shock. That's a shock. We basically kamikazed everybody. They weren't ready for that.
No, they weren't. So I'm not sure. I think everyone kind of looked at it and said, you know.
I know.
They're not here. They're not live. So
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Good content is matter though. You know, so people come on the show. Is this premiered or is it live? And if you say,
I know.
What is that all about? You know what I mean?
That's know. Crazy. And then they get butt hurt.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why aren't you live? And then when you are live, we got two people.
Well, you know, I guess from now on we'll be doing it like this, and you know, it had a lot to do with me being a little under the weather. Which
yes, how are you feeling, by the way?
Oh, a whole lot better, and like I said, hopefully it won't come back as much. But it was really bad cough. You know what I mean? So,
I know.
That's the bottom line. So, you know, hopefully, you know, last night I had it really bad. Then it goes and comes. Like right now, I feel like coughing a little bit, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of dust in this particular area here too. So
right.
It helps to, you know, exacerbate it a little bit.
Exactly. You know? Well, you know, hopefully you got enough rest.
Oh yeah,
I did. So
I've been resting like crazy, and you know I have to do that because there's no sense to me dogging myself out the way I have been doing, you know, because it's definitely not to be appreciated. You know what I mean? You dog yourself out and it's like, oh, well, you know, so it's like, listen, like a business, do it between certain hours, you know, crap and get off the pot and live life, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. I try to sleep, you know. Okay. I've grown so accustomed to the alternate way we've been doing things. Mm-hmm. So, you know, now that, you know, we're changing things up, I have to change up my sleep schedule also. You know what I mean? So
people don't understand. I've been staying up until like 6 and 7 and 8 in the morning, 9, 10 in the morning, oftentimes till 12 noon from the day before. Sleep a little bit and repeat the process. That's definitely going to wear you down. But,
exactly.
You know, like I said, now I'm at a point where, not that we're coasting because we're still going to go hard, but we're going to go hard in the designated times, you know? So anything that's going to just take from you know, my resources. Because remember, I'm almost 60 years old here. You know, I'm pushing myself.
Really? Oh my God. Oh my God.
So I'm gonna start enjoying those citizen props. You know what I mean? So
I would never know.
I ain't 20. You know
that. I could never imagine. I mean, wow. You know, I guess I forgot because guess what? You haven't spoken your age in a long time.
I know.
It's been a minute since you said it. So you know. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. What I said. When is Dr. Brockett coming back? I guess she'll come back when she's ready. Right now, it's the Rising show. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
nice that you hear what was said.
I don't understand it.
I know.
I honest to God I don't understand it.
I know.
Grand rising, everyone that has joined us in the chat, because we are live and this is not a recorded session, so we don't get to drop commentary and leave it. Dr. Brockett will be back when she is ready to come back and do a show with Brother Lance.
Until then,
we're not leaving her off. Exactly. Right. It's her decision when she comes on.
Because she has a lot of issues and things with her health and everything. So,
right.
That's like going to the pizza joint and saying, well, I'm here, but when you going to have sushi?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, my God.
But when it happens, it happens, So
exactly.
And that would be recorded. I know. That's how rude. But anyway,
I mean, she should actually do a live show with you.
Yeah.
That would be good for her loyal fans. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Excuse me. I hope I'm not catching what you're getting rid of.
What I mean is when I said don't understand it, it's quite rude when you have a fresh show on. Obviously, Dr. Brock is not here, and they just come bust out like this. This show doesn't count, right? And it happens on a lot of other shows. It's almost like
Dr. Brockett is a part of Lance's network. It's not an off-the-wall question. Well, Brother Lance, thank you so much for inviting me to come on the show this morning.
Maybe I should shut this show down and call up Dr. Brockett and bring him on.
I think you should. You should. Dr. Brockett, if you're listening, Brother Lance is probably going to give you a call in a few minutes, and so we can change it over to
so on the exit, we'll play your song. Thank you for coming by the show. We're gonna roll it for Dr. Brockett. It's the shortest morning show we ever did.
Brother Lance, dear.
But to talk about the things that we came to talk about, because this is pre-recorded, it would be
exactly what was said. Good to have you here. I'm not sure if you are a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. But thank you for being here, anyways. We appreciate you. Hi, Romy. Hi, everyone that's in the chat. I can't say hello to everybody this morning, but thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate you. And whoever gave that thumbs down, thank you so much for listening to this point, anyways.
Oh, they'll always do that. I'm used to that. That's an invert.
I'm used to it too. I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, there's certain ones who have to do it all the time because that's their role. It's like at least 5 or 6 individuals that I know that when they come on, because they have that vendetta. I mean, their lives are kind of, I understand more into it, behind the scenes what's going on. So that's their job. But it's still, it counts for the algorithm, right? They showed that they were there and they gave some viewership. Right.
Exactly. So you were going to say?
There's always stuff to talk about out here. This crazy world that we live in. And I ran across this article in searching around certain things. I didn't know Jamie Lee Curtis has a son that became their daughter. There's always something that with celebrities.
Oh my God. Something. It must be. I think there's some telepathic energy between us. Okay, because as I was waiting for you to let me know what that you had the link ready or whatever, I was looking at some things on my phone. And what I came across were men who were transing to women and women in the same family. A guy who was transing to a woman and a girl who was transing to a man. And it's like, well, what the hell is happening in this world this morning? So down here.
It's just to get us used to this foolishness. I mean, that's your private business. Right now, I really don't care.
Right.
really don't care. I mean, this stuff is being proportionately shoved on us now. And it's like, if you say anything, you get censored, you get shut down. So it's like, y'all in the world who want to just do all this Frankenstein business, go ahead and do what you got to do.
I know.
Media, you can have it. I don't want to be no part of it because, like I said, I'm going up in the mountains and live a reclusive lifestyle. And I don't even have to. I'll create what I create, and I don't have to be bothered with this stuff. What are you going to do? Force it down my throat? It's really obvious what it is, and it makes no sense. It's just so obvious.
Right.
What's happening, and it just
what's happening. It's interesting because
we're being set up.
Yeah. But here's what's interesting, and this is allegedly, okay? So, let me put it. Hi, everyone. Just in case you're wondering, we are live. Hello there. Allegedly, Jamie Lee Curtis might be a man or might be intersexed, because that's the new word for it. I believe that her son, that has now become her daughter, was adopted. She didn't actually give birth to, once again, all of this is allegedly, so I'm just saying it. So when you adopt a child, I don't know how old did you say his age?
25.
25.
Yeah.
What kind of life were you living coming up? What were you seeing? What were you experiencing?
Exactly.
That now you want to be a woman. And why? And the thing is that too many, as far as I'm concerned, too many of these Hollywood children are doing that. Too many. And sometimes too many in the same household are switching from one thing to the next. I mean,
what's the do they get brownie points being a celebrity when your child switches over? Isn't Cher's child?
Oh yeah, she's a man.
Yeah, and even Madonna.
Dwayne Wade. Oh, Madonna. Yes.
A gay son or something, adopted black guy. All of this stuff is encouraged, and this is like part of the contract as far as I'm concerned. Not that it started out like that years ago, but to me, it's like this is something that you're expected to deal with on a level of being positive for this stuff. When you're a celebrity, you don't have to be the hottest celebrity right now, but when you have that celebrity status, because even if you're not hot right now, the bottom line is if you've had movies or music, you're still hot. Okay.
Exactly.
Put it this way. We have YouTube now, and your material, whether it's movies or music or something as far as a stage play, you're there. So it doesn't have to be where you're at the top of the charts or the top of anything right now. Arnold Schwarzenegger hasn't done anything in a while, but he's there. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone hasn't done anything. They're getting older now, but they're there.
They're there.
Yes, it just seems as though, like, the overwhelming amount of these celebrities have to bend into that. And even if they don't have a child that's going to turn that way, they have to favor this thing. Now, I wonder how Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, since we brought their names up, they're these macho Hollywood guys, are they going to turn around and be like, well, yes, I favor it. You know what I mean?
Oh, gosh. Well, listen, as I've told you, we've had conversations, and I told you how I couldn't wrap my head around, in my mind, coming up, not today old, but, coming up, I always equated anyone who was gay with being effeminate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't wrap my head around seeing manly men, masculine men. I couldn't wrap my head around that. It just made no sense to me. It was like, what a waste of a good-looking or a healthy-looking masculine male. What a waste,
Right.
But I had to get used to the fact that those are some of the, the folks that are gay,
those
transsexual,
Look at back in the day when they said Rock Hudson, he was such a heartthrob. and he used to have these parties, these pool parties with dozens and dozens of naked men around the pool and lounging around his mansion and all of this stuff. And this stuff was a place who had to hide the fact that they were gay. But, you know, Hollywood stars, but behind closed doors, they were just all over the place with this thing. This is really nothing new. It's just they're just coming out with this thing where they're using the hormones and changing sexes and stuff like that. They've been wanting to come out with this stuff. It was never ever where it was clear of that stuff. It may not have been as much pressure, like say in the music industry back in the South back in the days when you had some good old music and whatever. It wasn't so much there, but it got into the music industry because now you're almost like a movie star when you're a music person, because now you got videos and the performances and everything. So you're visual. You have that impact. We got YouTube now, but it's before it used to be just a song played on the radio, so it didn't matter. A lot of times you didn't even know what these people look like unless they were in the paper or whatever. But now, you know, but behind social media and how things get around, now there's a concerted push, and people still say there's no agenda. Well, it doesn't mean that everybody's a card carrying member and is in on the secret. But can't you tell there's definitely something going on? You know, and if you say anything about it, you're wrong. Oh, you're hateful. Whatever. Come on now.
But you know what? We've touched on these topics from time to time, right? And it seems like we're going to be touching, you know, or at least addressing it more and more, because every day more and more, you know, you're seeing things, you're hearing things, and it's like, oh God, you know, this is something that we need to speak on, you know. But back in the day, I don't know if you ever paid attention to the old Hollywood stars, right? The ones from the Clark Gable and the Rock Hudson and those eras, right? And you used to look at some of these women, these striking looking women with this chiseled jaw and the prominent chin, you know, and what have you. And it was like, damn, these women, they were men.
Yeah, they were men. A lot of them
were men.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Back then, you know.
Yes.
And how did it get that way? I mean, like who?
I don't.
Hollywood in its infancy. They were down from way back then. You know, it was a slow burn, and it's going to keep going. I mean, like say for example, at this point, in say 50 years from now, whatever the world will be 50 years from now, whether the world will be 50 years from now, the way it's like.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, this can't keep up. I mean, at what point is it mandatory now? Will it be mandatory that when you're born, you know, after a couple of years, you have to choose what sex you want to be, and we're going to urge you to try to chop off what you have or change. Something doesn't like nature. Something doesn't like the Creator's plan. And it wants to just mess it up.
Mess it up. Yeah.
This
you know what it is?
What you see at the individual instances.
Right. And it lends itself to less procreation, coming right back to that last, that recent video you did. Because guess what? If I, as a female, trans to a man, right? And I like one of the people I just saw, she was doing a hysterectomy. She was getting an appointment to do a hysterectomy, right? So clearly she is removing all the parts and all aspects of being female to, in any way possible, procreate. She's removing that, right?
It's
then
terrible.
you have the men who are transing to female, you know, who are cutting off their penises. So therefore, these two people get together. If the trans woman and trans man get together, there is no possibility of bringing another child into the world.
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, let all the white celebrities do that. Let all the white people go do that. Let them go do that. Let's be real.
Yes, indeed.
Come on,
Black
man.
people, don't cut off nothing, don't cut out nothing. You never know. You might need it.
Behind that. I've moved the goalposts over, and even I'm not saying I'm accepting this or accepting that, but if you're gay or you lesbian or ever had, don't chop your stuff off. What are you doing?
Keep it.
What are you doing?
Keep it. I mean, let them accept you the way you are. If they're gonna if people are gonna accept you for wanting to do certain things or be a certain way, let them accept you for how you want to.
Minorities of the planet at 9% of the world population. Let them snuff themselves out. Don't follow behind them with that mess. You actually chop something off. So you look. We're not okay. When we say God, people think, oh, you're just following the European. No, I'm just saying that as verbal shorthand. We can say creator. We can say I'm saying it, not following behind no European whatever. But come on, man.
Exactly.
That's against God, man. That's against and so you're wrong. Who told you that you could? Do you know the infinite purpose of us being built the way we are, and hormones and the genitalia? Even if you don't have children, I'm not even knocking that. But you're gonna take a knife. That's such an offense, and cut off the part of you that's made to procreate. Even if you don't. All I'm saying, I'm not even saying that. Like some people say, oh, Lance, you're against the gay. Don't look, you gay lesbian, you shouldn't be embracing that mess because they lump you all in the same category, trans and so on. And just because now in society they get treated so bad, they bringing that in there now under the same umbrella. Come on, man. So if you smoke a little weed on the weekend, I'm supposed to be considered if you also smoke a little meth and crack because it's under the umbrella of some kind of
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, Angel does too. He smokes Angel dust. Well, come on over. Let's have a good time on the weekend. No, something's going to happen. You got to draw the line.
Somebody's going to die from one of the other ones that you're talking about. You know, weed ain't never killed nobody yet. It might make them a little bent, but it ain't killed anyone as far as I'm aware of. You know,
there comes a point. Yeah, a knife, y'all. A knife. You're perfectly healthy the way you are, aside from any ailments that you may have or whatever have you. But you're gonna purposely take a knife to yourself and cut your stuff off, and you never see it. That's doing something much more than physical. There's a spiritual price you have to pay with doing something like that, because
they do.
Bodies are really still not our own. We've been given these bodies to the earthly journey, and you're gonna go and you're gonna basically say the creator, the universe, whatever, God made a mistake. He made a mistake, and you're going to do this for a temporary ride through this world. Look, like I said, you know, I'm almost 60 years old, and this thing has gone by so fast.
Yes.
What? I mean, what are you going to get by? What are you going to get by chopping your stuff off, and you only here for a short time? I spoke to a friend of mine, Lamar. I haven't spoken to him in 40 years. A little less than 40 years. Yeah. Wow. And we lost contact. We used to train in the same gym together. And a lot of times we trained together. And I know his full name. So his name is unique. And in the area that he lives in, he still lives in that area in Brooklyn. And so he's a real estate guy now. So he had his number there. So I gave him a call, and he was like, and I played with him. I didn't just say, hey, this is Lance. No. I said, listen, Lamar, I'm playing a game with you. You haven't heard from me in a long time. And so I started making up these little jokes, and he didn't get it. And I'm like, man, the joke, because it made me understand. I'm going off the subject to come back on it. It made me understand that my mind is a little different, because I remember everything he wore. I remember the jokes that we said. I remember the songs the little people used to make fun of in an innocent way. And so he started catching on, but he was like, I don't get it. I said, man, this is Lance, man. Oh my God!
Oh my God! Yeah.
And then it all came flooding back, right?
Wow!
So, for me to remember everything like that, and it was all those days ago, to see how this is such a short ride. He's like, yeah, well, I'm doing this now, I'm doing that now, and he's got I think he's a couple years older than me, so he already crossed 60. Right? But who would have thought? This guy was built like this guy was tall, wide shoulders. He looked odd in a good way. People would stop on the street like, who is this guy? And humble guy, nice guy, and everything like that. But when we started going over the memories after we hung up, we talked for a good long while. And after we hung up, I said, man, you know, you got to keep yourself intact. This world will have temptations and things to confuse you in this short ride and have you all screwed up. come in a certain way. You're supposed to learn things on this level. You're supposed to absorb things on this level. You're not supposed to sit here and start changing stuff around because you don't have the infinite wisdom to know the overall plan of what it's
be. All for. Exactly.
This is just a quick pit stop to eternity, this life.
And you know what? Sometimes when we try to, conceptualize eternity, it's just mind-boggling. You can't do it. You know what I mean? It's like there is no end. It's forever. What's forever? You know what I mean?
This is a crucial step. You don't have to come in here and start messing things up like something. And because they're trying to work with your brain to try to convince you that, oh, this is all right. That's all right. No. Okay, to speak like a Christian when they say, oh, the devil comes in a straight path to tempt you, whatever. That's
no, go ahead.
I'm just saying that's to mess you up. You're supposed to get from point A to point B, and here you are between A and B, and something is messing with you tomorrow. You ain't got to go to point B. You can go to point D. You know, all this, and it's not even temptation. Not temptation for me because I've never considered whacking my stuff off. Well, with a knife at least.
You know what? You beat me. You beat me to it.
Beat you?
beat you to it.
Yeah, I mean, certain things are off the plate, man. Certain things shouldn't even be. What are you thinking about?
Exactly.
You're not thinking about making your body healthier. You're not thinking about the repercussions that happen to your connection to the universe.
No, just on this plane, just on this level, the instant gratification of being and doing what I want to be and do, and that's it. And, who cares, because
there's a dark origin to this thing, man.
You know what it is? What it is? When a lot of times I feel, because we, a lot of people who are not into the Christian religion, we look at reincarnation, or that we have multiple lives and spirit, and not even spirits. We have multiple lives, right? Because spirit is this body that takes on the spirit that gives you the life force. When you transition, this spirit can go into another form and come back as another life force. You understand? Because the spirit is the life force. Your soul is what carries your memory and, all the things that you take with you when you transition. That goes on and does whatever. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So when we do certain things and when we transition, what do you think we do? We relive. Sometimes we relive the traumas of our life if we don't resolve them. So can you imagine you cut off parts of your anatomy on this level, thinking that, oh, this is what I want to do, so and so and so and so. Hold on a second. Hang on a second. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
You go into the afterlife, reliving what I would really consider to be errors that we make on this level. Because a lot of people are not happy once they do these transitions, Brother Lance. That call kind of threw me off a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. No. But
there's no happiness.
They're not happy.
You get to that point, and it's like, oh, you just got to chop something off and pretend. You're playing pretend. You chop your stuff off. You will never be a woman. You will never be a woman. I'm sorry. Thumbs it down. You'll never be a woman. You can get breasts. You can get whatever they do down below and keep the little hole open or whatever. You got man spit in your mouth. You got man bones. Come on, man.
Yes.
You never have that essence of a woman, a real woman.
Nope. You cannot get it. You cannot get it.
And you cannot give birth. They can put some up in you, let it incubate and drop it out. It ain't the same.
And you can't, as a woman, you cannot have the essence of a man. You can get hormone therapy. You can, it can make your voice deeper. It can make you grow facial hairs. It may change your body structure to some degree as far as what we can see on the outside. But the true essence of what makes a man, can't have it.
But it's so much more than the superficial. It's not just the superficial, like you're decorating a Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, let me hang some balls on this one, and let me hang a penis on this one, and now no, that's like me jumping into a flower pot barefoot and holding myself
standing up.
This plant. How stupid does that look? Mm-hmm. But like I said, the person who indulges in these things, they got a heavy price to pay. I don't know what it is, but you got to be within balance. You cannot go and pick and choose what's been assigned to you. You can't do it. Oh, you can do it, but you're going to face some consequences. And in the midnight hour after you do it, you're not going to be happy. Now, after you do it, you want the world to accept you a certain way. You get mad when you try to push yourself off as a woman because you didn't chop your stuff off or whatever. And now people don't accept you as no woman, or they feel funny about it, or whatnot. You feel funny about it because I have to admit to them that I was a man.
Exactly.
Because you got dudes who are into that. You got dudes who are into that.
Oh yeah.
The whole thing and every step of the transition. Chicks with dicks. They love that. Some of these guys.
That's
you got a
true.
man who's taking hormones, you're gonna call it a chick. Just because they slap a little makeup on. And that is really very perverse in your desire.
And it's very frightening.
Just go ahead and be a dude who likes men. Instead of using the female image as a shoehorn, it's a woman. It has a little extra. Ain't no woman got no extra. And if it's a woman and it got that extra, I don't want that extra. I don't want that extra. That's something I don't want.
Unless they have the other extra with it too. Because you have the intersexed people who are feminine. Their hormonal makeup is more for the most part female, but they also have the male genitalia, because their clitoris grew larger, right? That might be beneficial to some people,
Still a woman. Yeah, it's still a woman. I know this chick who had a enlarged clit. I'm like, what the heck is that? You know what I mean?
You make me laugh.
Yeah. It's like, and you realize it's a woman, right? And it's just an enlarged clit. And I'm like,
right.
You deal with it, and then you feeling like, wait a second, this ain't no trick. I hope this is let's be real. You mess around and you're like, okay, and am I putting a dick in my mouth or something? You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. So I'm expecting. I'm looking at this, no balls under there. You know what I mean? Ain't no hole at the end.
You know what? I was wondering that I didn't ever ask you, but I was wondering if there was ever going to be a time when I would hear that story, because you've just encountered too many people for that to not be one of the situations you encountered.
There's some that I never had or saw on really a huge penis looking thing. Okay, I'm a little leery on that one, but it's a little big. But that's what it was. You can see that because that's what. Before we are assigned in our development, is a penis. The penis is a clit.
Right.
So sometimes I guess they little things in nature because remember we got radiation, we got chemicals, things that happen. Our bodies. I mean, look what happened with Hiroshima and dropping the bomb, and how for so many decades people were born with these abnormalities and stuff like that, which is unfortunate. No limb or one leg or one eye in the middle of the head and all that stuff. You don't know. And then we have these chemicals that we're eating these bad things. There's stuff in the air. The world is messed up because all this stuff hasn't gone anywhere. I mean, even from the
Exactly. Exactly.
atmosphere
Exactly.
that's going to affect us, and it's going to affect us in a sexual way also. I understand that. But you
Um,
have people who no, it wasn't no hermaphrodite. No, it wasn't. I made sure of that. I've seen one in the jail, and they were just so glad to show their parts, and it was just, but this old nasty old something. It wasn't because that was unfortunate they had that like that, but this it was a white boy, and
mhm,
he was always pushing it, always pushing
mhm.
it. And I never had red hair and walk around effeminate and not super effeminate, but sometimes they would get masculine or sometimes, and they was doing this on purpose to confuse you because like
Right.
he had a new cellmate, he'd act real effeminate, and the guy's like, "Yo, what you got this? What is this in the cell with me?" You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because it obviously wasn't, but it was like, yeah. And
Right. Right. Exactly. But
one day a bunch of us went up in the cell, and he's like, "I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you." And my boy, he was like, "Yeah, man, come on up, man. Let's check this out." And I said, "Okay, I don't want to see it, but for the sake of life and experience and being able to say I saw." I said, it's almost like eating your vegetables when you didn't want to eat them, but you ate them because it's good for you. Not that seeing that was
right.
good for me, but
Hmm.
to be able to say, you know what, I experienced that by seeing that. And
Right.
yeah,
But you know what? I feel like, me personally, I feel like those are special people. Why I say that? Because remember, if we go back when we talk about the mitochondrial Eve, and please, folks, I'm not Dr. Michael Hamer, so I don't know too much about, you know, about that. I leave that to him. But women were able to bear children on their own, right? Because they had everything in them to procreate. They didn't need anybody else to do anything. They didn't need, quote unquote, a man. Somewhere along the way, and I don't know where or how, but we separated, right? And so I feel like the ones that come forward with both organs are special. They're, to me, they're very special because this is what we looked like many, 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 many thousands, millions of years ago. That's exactly how we look.
right. Well,
Think
like I
about it.
said, yeah. I mean, and we're all the same until we get to a certain point in our development. But what I'm saying is that the purpose of cutting your stuff off and it's still superficial. It's still superficial, and people, what gets in their head as to why they want to change? They don't like who they are. They
I don't know what it is.
woman trapped in a man's body or a man trapped in a woman's body. That's their dilemma. But why is it that you have to make it the world's issue? Like this has got to be something that is on every TV show. It's
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
every level of life, even with people who don't want to be bothered with that. It has to be something.
Right, right. But you have the folks who, there's so many levels to why people decide that they want to be something other than what they were brought into this world as, right? You have the folks who were grossly molested as children and they want nothing to do with who they were because the violation was so great, so deep, the hurt, they just want to be something else. We have those kinds of people. Then you have the ones who said that they felt like they were trapped in a body that they don't belong in. That is a dynamic that for us who were quite comfortable in the body that we're in, that's a dynamic that's hard to understand. You see what I'm saying? I,
Yeah.
I feel like I feel more for those people, the genuine ones. And you can see those ones from childhood, the ones
Right.
that are trapped.
Right.
And I've
Right.
seen it. I know it personally. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
This individual ultimately died. He died from AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I knew him from the time he was about 2 years old, 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he never acted like a male. He never acted like a little boy.
Right. Right.
Never at all. And he was not molested. You understand what I'm saying? And he never acted like a boy. He always acted like a girl. He had to be a boy because he was, he had male body parts and he grew up and stuff like that. But he did it to please his family. Ultimately, he went and lived a gay lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so I know that there are those kind of individuals. But the ones that
I can understand that too. But the knife thing, man, the knife thing and all of that. I mean, this world is a test. If anything else, like I said, this is a pit stop to eternity. Look at the time that we're here. I don't care if you're here for 1,000 years. If you're here 5,000 years, that's nothing compared to eternity. If you're here for 5,000 years and your lifespan was 5,000 years, what happens when you've gone from here 1,000,000 years? A billion. This is like, when you take a state exam and you get a placement exam when you get the job, whatever, and they give you this little exam to see where they can put you on the job, what you got to work on, what your forte may be.
Right. Aptitude.
This is all about. And this is not an easy test.
Right.
See, this is a test. This is not an easy test.
Right.
And so we think we're going to change things during the test to make things right for this life, which we're messing things up for eternity. Whatever you got to go through, face it, go through it. Don't be in denial of it, but don't make any foolish decisions that's going to affect you for eternity. Right. You don't flunk out of the test and just, this is a test and it's not going to be.
Because we don't know. Nobody has come back and said anything to us, so we don't know.
Because I know that the parts of my test in my life, certain aspects appear to be easier than others. And there's other aspects of my test of this life where you would wonder why I'm still sane. You see what I mean? So I've had it hard on certain levels. That was never my issue, my gender or my identity that way.
Right.
I was never destitute. I was never rich, but there's times I had lots of money. There's times where I'm scraping down on my last penny.
Right.
And I had those things, whatever. But emotionally and being let down and the games being played, I had it hard. But you don't see those scars on me. I had to go through the test. I had to go through my test. And each
you don't
one of
wear them outwardly.
Different. And there's so much more to this test than just your gender and whatever. That cannot be. Look, that is the only system in the body that you can remove and you'll still live. Think about it.
True.
You can remove the skeletal system. You ain't gonna live. You can remove the digestive system. You ain't gonna live.
Right.
You can remove the circulatory system. You ain't gonna live without it. You can remove the nervous system. You can't live without it. You're gonna die. All of these systems that are there, but the one that we don't need to get through this life, which is there for procreation, and we adorn so much on this. Okay, because you got man, you got woman. What if we were out somewhere in the wild, running around, half naked, not even aware of, oh, look at your titties hanging out, look at the pum pum, and we were like, oh God, the Sentinelese.
Oh, okay, yeah.
By the Indian Ocean. Those black folks that are out there that killed that guy for coming in, and when a helicopter's trying to land, they throw stones, they look uni, so
spears. Exactly.
They got them issues. Yet
no.
They walk around with their penises swinging, and the women ain't there. Look at that penis. I'm going, that's my man right there. You better not mess with him. All those other things you don't have to worry about. The women walk around their breasts out. They have something covering a little bit. If they bend over and you see they pum pum, guys, oh God, dog, man, look at that, man. She working a lot from the back.
Right.
So us as a society, right? We put too much emphasis on these things. We see too much into the sexual. We're sexual creatures. We're sexual beings, but we focus on this stuff too much.
Exactly.
This society focuses on this stuff too much.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, when a child sees a breast, it sees comfort. It sees the nurturing. It sees we as men in this modern society. Damn, man, look at that titty. How you break it down. You know, breasts have been sexualized.
Yes,
but
indeed.
you get horny off a titty, the titty's supposed to feed that child. It's just hanging, man. You know, but we put so much stuff on it. Even heterosexual people put too much emphasis on these things. So we were out like the Sentinelese run around and they get along fine. They procreate, but it's got to be a certain order with that. But they're out there fishing. They basically are vegans and have a little fish. They get along fine. The kids run around with this mama and that mama. It ain't, oh, that's that ain't my child. You better, they got that village mentality.
Exactly.
The men are there to protect the women and make sure things are going a certain way. So, they ain't got no time. I feel like I'm a woman in a man's body and I got to go chop off. Where this whole Western society sickness.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from? For the most part, for the ones who want to now go and, you know, change things up. Where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, whatever you want to call it, because this universe, Hollywood. The God force, the righteous energy, the universe, whatever you want to call it, it's too big for us to comprehend. But we want to come here like we know everything. We want to come like we know everything and we can change this. What force is that is against nature? That's against nature.
Demonic force, exactly.
There's a demonic force that hates life.
Yes.
And it wants to stop you from having that eternal connection. It wants to chop you off from that because it can't have it. I'm not talking no biblical stuff. I'm just saying it is what it is because we got the good side, we got the bad side, and the bad side is jealous of the gifts that we have. That look at the very way we live in this society. We came into this earth. We're not supposed to be living like this. We're not supposed to be going on no daggone job.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Even if we're working for ourselves to get money to go pay somebody else for the land up under our feet, when you got millions and millions of acres on this planet that are not occupied.
More than enough for everybody. More than enough.
And we don't even need the exchange of money.
Right?
If we were all working along together as a people, the fruit grows free. The trees grow free. We can chop those trees down within reason and build structures. Collectively, we can do everything together.
Right. I mean, like you always say, the earth is perfectly balanced. Okay? We have enough land mass for everyone on this planet. There's enough. But you see the greed, right? The greed. And, you know, when somebody can say, I have 1 million acres of property somewhere out in the Midwest or whatever, what are you doing with you know, let's scale it back, 100,000 acres, because that's not far-fetched, right? 100,000 acres of property, but it's just sitting there. You might be growing hay on it, or you might have some cattle on it or whatever, but there are people out there with nowhere to live, with no structure to live on in, right? And so because
that's a crime.
Right. Yeah. And because of that, then all of a sudden now we're overpopulated because 1 or 2 people have more than they need to live. Then now we're overpopulated.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because we're building these massive structures. We're taking away farmland. We're taking away areas where food can naturally grow. You know, we're killing off the rainforest. We're burning things down. You understand what I'm saying? So we, in our greed, we're doing everything that makes it impossible for us to live because, like you said before, there is never an inconsistency in the number of births and deaths. It may vary, 5 or 10 per year, but if 50 come, 50 go. You see what I'm saying? So if they're coming and going at equal quantities, why is there not enough space and not enough food supply for everybody to live? Why?
Because they want to squeeze life. They don't want life. They're against life. And like I said, it's the greed that took over. It's the gift of life and the gift of this gift of this life that someone doesn't want us to enjoy. It's like the little kid.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about no Christmas business. I'm just using this for an example, right? Like say, for example, Christmas is here and those who celebrate it, right? There's some little kid who didn't get toys, right? And the other kids across the street got all these toys. So now they're mad they didn't get any toys and they're jealous of the people who got the toys, right? I'm not into the whole
Exactly.
I'm just using that as an example. So now here we're gifted with life, real life. We come here to this plane and we have all the fruit, all the free stuff to eat, all the land, all the sunlight. We're supposed to be laughing and joyous and having fun with each other as we support
but we're not.
energy. Our families should be together 24/7. Our neighbors that we get along with, it should be where we get along with everybody, right? But somewhere, whenever there's a problem, it's because we have adopted that mentality of greed and want to have more. Let me tell you something that happened to me when I first came out here to Ghana the first time 2 years ago. We were driving along, going to the Volta region, and for 2.5 hours on both sides of the road, as far as you could see, there were nothing but mango trees, tall mango trees, fully packed. There's no way you can eat all of them. I'm talking about, when you're driving down through Florida and you go down the turnpike and you get to a point between the cities and you see all this land. And everybody thinks this after a while, like, damn, the city's so packed, but I'm driving for all these minutes and this whole hour, and I don't see nothing on the left and nothing on the right. Yeah, you pass through a little town here and there, but you see over the horizon on both sides. You're like, man, I'm really in a place that is really surrounded by nature. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The alligators out there, deer and all this stuff. I said, wow, so I'm sitting here saying, man, look at all these mangoes. So we pulled over and there was some mangoes on the road, some tree. I mean, it was just so much of an abundance. So I had a monopod. I had a monopod that I could extend up to about 6 feet. So we pulled over and there were some low hanging mangoes, man. They were full. I started knocking some down so we could take it. Out of nowhere, from way up in the bush somewhere, some dudes came out on motorcycles. Hey, you can't do that. You have to pay us.
What?
So we said, what? I said, all these mangoes up here? No, you got to give us something. So we took a few and we just left. We ain't give them nothing. What I'm saying is that here you have in abundance all of these mangoes, and you have
that are gonna rot. Yeah, they're gonna rot.
That they're gonna try to get that money out of you. I mean, it was Ghanaian money, but it's the European mentality of money, right? Nature. Now you have to exchange money for this, and we got to get that from you. So you value more in the money, that you want that more than anything else.
Exactly.
So we can't live free. All of these, I mean, it was hundreds of millions of mangoes that we drove 2.5 hours on this road, like a highway, going at a good speed, 2.5 hours, man, on both sides, as far as you can see, mangoes.
Wow.
I never saw nothing like this before.
You were in mango heaven, weren't you?
Oh yeah. I was having mango-gasms. But I'm telling you, how can we be hungry when they paint the picture? Oh, in Africa, they're hungry. If there's a war-torn area where there's war going on and that white man is coming and manipulated, either they say, oh, you keep saying it's a white man, but it's Africans going against each other, but it's some white men in the white countries giving weapons to both sides, wanting you to kill each other off so they can get the resources. That's what that is. You understand? So how can we have the mind against nature? So even if it may not be a money thing that you want more than the next person, how much food can I eat? How many beds do I need?
Exactly.
How many, if I have a vehicle, which, like I said, that's a man-made thing, why am I concerned if it's newer than yours or better than yours as far as the amenities that are on it? No, we get so caught up. That's why I'm rejecting all of that. I have no love for these things. I have no thirst for these things. Even people who claim righteousness, they want to take more land than what they have and go over your property line, or get a little more quarter acres than you just to have it, or tell you to build a tiny little house and they go build a big one. Even in the so-called righteous people that some of us we may know, they mess up with that thing. So they're not even away from that thing. And when you try to cleanse yourself of that mentality, it's like you become someone who reveals who they are to themselves.
Exactly.
99.99% of us on this planet, black people, African people, we are messed up with their stuff. And that's why we got to reject it at all levels, because when we start wanting a little more or getting a little upset that this person has this or this or that, that's why with me, I don't want to be bothered with too many people, man. But when they're infected with that thing, it starts out small and it grows and grows and grows, and you got problems down the line. When you with that superficial European, I gotta have more and I gotta have millions of acres. I don't be bothered with that, man. You can't have peace of mind, number one, like that. Number one.
Exactly. But that's why.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking back to, you talking about the mangoes and even driving further into the Volta regions, and seeing those women walking around, they, people who are for the most part untouched by Western society. You know what I mean? And they're just living their lives with whatever culture they have, whatever rituals, however they normally live. And they're not concerned. They're not bothered by anything. Like you said, the women walk around, in certain states of what we would consider undress, but it's normal for them.
Yeah. Look, I want to go back to the days, and I don't mean necessarily these particular days. I'm just painting a picture. Back in the early 70s, the mid 70s, 75, 76, it ain't going to happen. I'm just saying my mentality, right? 12, 13 years old, summertime, school's out, and I put $3 or $2 in my sock, leave the house, tell my parents where I'm going over to the Smoky Park to play softball with some friends of mine, and we laughing and talking, and all I needed was that $2 in my sock was to get something to drink and something to snack on before I come back home and get something to eat. Somebody had a radio playing the music. We heard the good songs. We had the joy of being around each other. We cared for each other. When we saw each other, it brought smiles to our face, even though most of us didn't have $1 or $2 in our pocket. If we ran out of the money or whatever, it's like, well, listen, I'm full. I got my little gallon of juice or whatever.
True.
Yeah, you can take the dollar.
True.
And they would share whatever. It was the joy of being with each other. But as we get older now, we get this status. Okay, this person went to this school and I didn't get a chance to go to the school. So they're more educated than me. I don't like them because now they can have a better job and get more. Or the other person, well, I have more now and I can't hang with you because you're broke. You don't have anything. And this world poisons us.
Exactly. Exactly.
Some guys that I hung out with that hardly spoke English because their folks might have been from South America. They just got here, whatever. But we found a way to play. We found a way to have some fun. And it wasn't about whose house was better. Look, growing up, some of the friends' houses that I had, some of them lived in shacks damn near. Some of them lived in some very nice places, but it never crossed our mind. It never crossed our mind. And we would go and hang out, or we were going over by so-and-so's house, and that house may have been a little dilapidated. They might have had a situation where there was no father around or whatever, and the mother was struggling, whatever. But we enjoyed ourselves over there.
Yes.
Same way anywhere else.
Yep. And nobody paid attention to that. Nobody paid attention
to that.
That's true.
That's what I want to go back to. And yes.
That's the Irma Bombeck mentality, Brother Lance. That's the Irma Bombeck mentality, man. Seriously, live your life. Stop worrying about, I'm not saying anybody should keep a dirty house by no stretch of the imagination, folks. Don't even,
No, you're supposed to be clean, no matter what financial level you're on.
Right, but you can't be obsessed. If you don't have all the things that you think everybody else has or the next person, you cannot be obsessed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm through with that game. No. I don't want to be bothered. That's why I said I look forward to being reclusive. I look forward, not only from my good people here on the show and the people in our inner circle, but that mentality, it's such a relief right now for me.
Right.
It's here in the Midland now. It's here just as bad as anything else. Because yesterday, we've been on the straight and narrow so much and whatnot, and I wasn't feeling too good. And we had some business to take care of, so we both had to leave out. And I get to a point where I say, you know what? Let's get out of this area. Let's hop an Uber and go over to Osu. And there's this spot that they had the veggie burgers and stuff. I said, let's, sometimes Mr. Scurv ain't up to, I said, listen, don't rest yourself because you're under the weather also. So let's take a little ride over there, sit down, get something to eat, come back and just rest because she was tired, she was exhausted. We both fighting this flu. And it seems like we're doing better. But we went over there and did that. So it's a nice little area over there. It's a restaurant in Osu called B2B, Breakfast to Breakfast. and they have a lot of healthy things there. So even though the food that I ate was nasty,
Oh no!
I was curious. Because there's a backstory on it. When we went with Brother Coffee when he came into town, and we did a little interview on top of the building where his friend Percy had built that 10-story building in Osuna.
Right.
I did a video up top with that, and when I interviewed him with the phones and everything like that, he was like, "Oh, meet me over by this restaurant." So I'm figuring we're going to eat first. So we sat down, we beat him there, and we ordered. I said, "Oh man, a veggie burger, right?" So we ordered the veggie burger. Then he came and said, "Oh, you ready?" I'm like, "Oh, you're not eating?" No, we're going to go first. Man, we had to leave that place, and I was like, I could taste that veggie burger. So even after when we were finished taking care of business, let's get something to eat. I'm like, let's go right on back to that same place. And he kept bringing us all these other places. I'm like, man, we ain't going there. So I'm like, I'm coming back here by myself, or me and Mr. Scurv or whoever. We're going to eat in that place. It was like unfinished business. Well, I finally got there to eat the food. The veggie burger was mushy. It really doesn't make it consistent or good. Well, anyway, there were two young ladies that came in, and one was a little heavy set, and the other one had kind of an hourglass shape. So it was one of those situations where I could pick up the girl there who had the hourglass shape, well built. They had their hair big. They had their hair big, heavy makeup. The nails were real long, 3 and 4 inches long, and the bangles, and they had some nice clothes on. They were very intelligent, but they were looking for attention. So when they walked in, we were already seated. They walked in. I glanced over at the one with the hourglass shape. The other one was she was really heavy, but she kept herself with all the amenities the same way the other one did. So they were in this mentality. Now the heavy set one, as usual, they're the ones a little more humble, but the other one, she was the sugar honey iced tea. So she was looking around to see really who was looking at her. So when I glanced away, she locked eyes with me, and she's studying my face to see if I'm looking her up and down. I locked eyes when I just unlocked them. And I made a point when I saw that spirit. I'm like, I'm not even looking her way. They sat next to us. There was a little aisle to walk in this other table. And she kept looking over like, he's not going to look at me. He's not going to. Yeah, we had a little t-shirt on, little shorts on, and some shoes. Had a little on. I was looking like, in her mind, like, oh, he's nothing type thing. And she had to be like in her 20s. And of course, I'm the age that I am. But some of these women, they're so caught up in this worldly thing where, wait a second. So, that mentality.
Mentality. But you see, you know what? You see how you described her, right? The hourglass shape and the this and the that, and then the heavy set one. You see what I'm saying? That is the kind of thing that makes people like her think she is the shit.
But let's see. My experiences in this life have been so vast.
I know.
I know. But I was saying, like, even when I used to drive the Lincoln Town Car, we had those celebrities and different types. There was one time when there was some modeling. It was a show, some kind of fashion thing going on. I didn't pay it no mind because you're numb to those things when you grew up in New York City, whether you're close to it or not. So I had to pick up all of these white models, and I was picking up like 4 and 5 at a time. They squeezed in, like 3 in the back, 1 in the front. And sometimes, we had to squeeze. So I was picking up from this hotel because they were from all over the world and bringing them down to this venue. And when you think they walk around like that, you think they walk around already made up and done up to just walk in and just walk on the runway? No.
Oh, no.
They look like ghouls. I'm like, these are some ugly, behind, bony men. Yeah, they look like men.
Men. That's right.
And it was almost like their whole persona couldn't shine through the fake thing because they knew they didn't look the way that they were going to look when they painted their faces on and put their hair on. Because a lot of these white women who are models and then walk on the runway, they slap wigs on too.
Of course.
Assume, oh yeah, that's their long hair and this is how white folks are. And they were like so clipped. Like their wings were clipped. They were so defeated looking. And later on when I had to bring them back, some of them took off some of the makeup. Some kept their stuff on. They looked so different. I wouldn't even say they look beautiful. They just look different. I mean, and then here I am with these women, these white women in the car, and we're at a red light in Midtown Manhattan, and they were two sisters who were just walking down the street.
Right.
And they weren't models per se, but the sensuality, the soul, the beauty with very little makeup on, the sunlight shining, physical, spiritual. You couldn't keep your eyes off of them, not even on a lust level, but just like, wow, look how beautiful this woman is. Not even just the features,
exactly.
which was there, but the essence of these two black women walking down the street. And I looked in the rearview mirror, and them white ghouls were looking at them so envious. Like, look at that. They got color. They got soul. They got essence. And I made a point while I was at the red light of keeping my eyes on them in a decent way. I wasn't trying to look at their butts or whatever, but I just give it a decent look, like my eyes trailed them. I wasn't paying them white women no mind in there. I don't know what they thought. They thought I was going to tap dance for you. Oh, God. Get the hell out of here. Looking all scripted out.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I saw that envy on their eyes. Like, look at this. Here I am, some top model from all over, because these were name models. I'm not saying like household names, but within that industry, the way they had the security in the back, and yes, we have so-and-so coming in now, and so-and-so from Luxembourg, Germany, and this other one from Czechoslovakia. I'm like, who are these people? I don't know them people, but that's not my world. But later on, I found out, like, they had a magazine thing a few months after that where, you know, hey, Lance, that's the event that you covered. Here, check this out. You didn't know that these were the people in my mind. I'm like, they whipped them two black girls that walk across the street. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's something that we have that they don't. There's something that we have.
What they call it, the je ne sais quoi, just that certain something. You know,
and that's why they want to cut us off from the natural source that we have in abundance. We shouldn't have to worry about a mortgage payment. We shouldn't have to worry about health care. We should have people who are very efficient in taking care, and we share our skills. Everybody's not going to know everything. Why can't we be free when needed? We share what we have.
That's right. And there would be
those who are strong and can help to build the structures. They build the structures. The older women who don't have much as far as physical strength, they have wisdom to give to the young kids and look after them. We're so efficient the way we are. Why do we need Social Security? When we put our grandparents and parents and great grandparents in nursing homes, yet we have to depend on Social Security
to take care of them.
That makes no sense. Yeah, but it don't make no sense. They should be home with us. We should be their Social Security. But they've separated them, and they made it seem to us that, they're in the way now. They're old. They're too much of a burden.
Yeah,
we're supposed to take care of them, even if it may not be our blood. Mother, father, grandfather, whatever have you, you see any one of them. How much does it take to feed somebody who's 90 years old? How much space does it take to give them a bed to sleep in when they can give you so much more wisdom? Even if they can't, if they have some kind of ailment or something, they've done so much before you. To throw them away. But yet, they got to depend on Social Security. No, we don't need no money or no monetary system. We need to get away from that. And sometimes we'll give a little more, and say, okay, I'm a doctor. These people were sick in my community. We worked day and night for the last 2 or 3 weeks to get them well again. So what? You got food? If you need your roof for money, it doesn't for free. We do each other for free. Do you do this inside your household? Okay, like say, for example, let's just make an extreme case. You have a family, you have a father, mother, grandparents, children that, they still may be there. They're a little older now, but they're still there. Now, every time you cook a meal, do you charge them? You cook a meal for the family. Oh no.
Exactly. But you see,
you don't do that.
Right. But you see, this world, this education, higher education, all these things that now you have to go into an institution to learn to do this, to do that, to do the next thing, and you're being charged all these exorbitant amount of money to learn these things. Now you have to pay it back, correct? So now you can't
exactly.
Yeah, you can't. There's no such thing as barter system when you got bills to pay. You know what I mean? You got to find a way to make that money, to charge that money, to pay back for learning. I was just sitting here thinking, and I feel like we should not want to go to school to learn, whether it's a trade or a profession or whatever, simply because we know that it can make us a certain amount of money down the road. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because it might not be your natural born gift or talent to study or to learn that particular field. It could just be something that you're good at because you have good memory retention or whatever the case may be. You understand?
Right.
We should literally, because I feel like we're all born with that innate God-given, creator-given gift for what we naturally gravitate towards.
Some of us have one, some of us have one good one, whatever. Some of us may not be spectacular in any one, but we have a supportive spirit. We can't be everything everybody else is. Roll with it, and that's the thing that is going to bring you the most satisfaction because it's effortless. It's effortless.
Like that's whoever that first Hippocrates and what he did, whoever got the first knowledge to do, to say, what, I'm gonna try to do a brain surgery. I'm sure they killed a whole lot of people before they got it right, but ultimately they got it right. You know what I'm saying? And you teach the next person who has that natural desire to learn that, because it will be easier to learn it and to pass it down than
as it's going on. Not like well, go to the school first and then we'll have you apprentice. No, you're there learning.
Yes, hands-on.
Exactly, hands-on, and it's transferred over because you've been doing this and been around this for so many years. And it's just you started on a menial level. You're helping out.
Just like midwives and doulas. Those were skills that were passed down from generation to generation to the women who had a natural desire to learn that. It shouldn't be, hey, Susie, come here, or whatever you want to call yourself. You're going to learn this. Well, I might not want to look at no baby coming out no coochie. I might not want to do anything like that. So why should I be forced to learn that? Let the person who naturally wants to do it learn that.
Right.
Let me go cook. You understand? Let me go clean.
And you'll have a sense of satisfaction from your contribution, because if we're not competing and saying the best cook, maybe a whole bunch of people who take joy from that. But when you see the doctors working and you say, oh yeah, they must really be hungry right now. Let me prepare this. And it's necessary because the doctors can't cook for crap. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
This meal with love and care, and you're getting love through that. That's an energy transferal, and they know the food is good, and you're picking everything that you need to pick from out of nature, and washing it and cutting it up nice and preparing it, and you present that meal. But everything good has been stripped out. Now it's fast food. There ain't no soul in that food. Everything is on an artificial level. There's nothing that whips when it could be a brother cooking too now, but I'm just saying for a man, bring you this food. It could be a man bringing it to you, but when that woman puts that female energy and love and took time and she did this with the intent of not just giving it to anybody, but I'm giving this to you. I'm making it for you. I'm preparing this food out of love for you. And you get that, you take the bite. It's not even just calories, carbohydrates, essential fats, protein, water, minerals, and vitamins.
It's more all the love that is put into it. Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you eat that thing. You just can't eat and get up and go run. Or go, oh, thank you, it's good move. No. You got to sit there and you're like, oh my God, you really. And it does.
Lie down. You have to go lie down. I said, Lord, let me just reminisce on how that thing just tasted. Oh, let the food just tasted. Let me rephrase. Really, you have to sit down and think about it. You know, you have to.
When it's good food, you know, you just can't throw it down and whatever. Because look, when the good food's coming out, you can't just like, well, I'm going to take a running dump. You better sit down when it's time to make that dump. It stops everything. Not to get nasty. But you got to sit there and be like, okay, that's part of it. Man, that food was good, man. It feels good coming out too. That's real nutrition. Then your stomach is empty and your stomach goes back to the size it was and it feels empty because it was good calories, good fiber in the food. And you're like, wow. And you get hungry, down the line and you eat another good meal.
Exactly.
But so much of our life has been robbed. All the goodness has been robbed. We traded it off for something that doesn't even enhance us. The joy, no, seriously, the joy of a good meal. This is why folks gotta wait to go home to their folks, whether it's in the South or the Caribbean or Africa or wherever it may be. Yeah, I can't wait to go home and get some of grandma's cooking or some of my mother's cooking or whoever.
Exactly.
And then guess what? You feel in love thinking about it.
But you know what's interesting? That's true. But you know what's really, this is what's interesting. You can have a mother, right? Who in your eyes or my eyes, that's not our mother now. That's somebody else's mother. But in our eyes, they can't cook worth a lick, right? As far as we would consider cooking. Okay.
Right.
But she puts so much love in whatever ability she has to make that food that her children will forever remember mama's cooking.
Of course,
it may not taste good to us. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but the love that she put into preparing it with her limited skills, her limited knowledge of, seasoning or not seasoning food or whatever. She put so much of herself into it that her children will forever.
That's right.
They will always remember mama's cooking mommy's.
That's right.
It's
the same thing in relationships, right? As a young guy, you're limited in your range of understanding things. So, when you're young, you rate the guy's girlfriend or his woman according to how she looks on a lustful scale. Like, okay, she got the hips, she got the narrow little waist, and she got them lips, and she gorgeous, man. She's right. And there's always that next dude that got that chick that, let's just be real, she might be a plain Jane, might not have no body at all as far as the curves or whatever have you, but that man loves that woman. I had a situation where I went to this party one time, many, many years ago. It was in Brooklyn. I think it was back in the 1990s. And a few such people that I knew showed up there. I knew them from a distance and I knew the guys before. And then they had the little girlfriends and stuff. And I heard the comments, so-and-so, he can do better than that. So-and-so, let me tell you something. There's so much that I picked up from finally seeing them when they got to the party, because the guy with the gorgeous chick, I'm not saying the gorgeous chick is no good. I'm just saying, like, I learned from this contrast. The one with the saucy, juicy, so-called sexy vixen type woman, she was there, they were dancing, but you can see she wasn't even into the man. She dancing, posing, looking around. I'm like, oh man. Now, this woman who was a little plain Jane, I mean, she was all up into her man, right? A piece of dancing they did. They were in unison. They were connected. It wasn't nothing nasty that they were doing, but the little moves that they did showed how much she was was into her man and how much he was into her. I'm like, yo, this is there. They ain't do nothing X-rated, but it was damn near X-rated the way they had passion for each other, the way she held his face and the way he held her face and the way they did their little moves. It shows that they were in sync. And I'm like, man, I could only imagine behind closed doors. You got and people didn't even know who they were. And they were like, look at that woman.
Yeah.
Let's not get nasty, but she was throwing it up good for him behind closed doors.
You see of course.
Him. So just like that person who may not be the best cook, but they put so much love into the preparation of food for those children. That woman, she may not have had the physical dimensions and the hourglass shape. She was built straight up and down. And she was a skinny little something. She probably was about 110 pounds. Baggy little clothes on, and she didn't have no makeup on. She didn't have much hair. She had these thick behind glasses, and you would never mistake her for some runway, a black runway model, whatever have you. But I'm telling you,
I want to tell you. I want to say something to that. You see, that is a nice little facade front, because she may not want to really show who she is or what she looks like when she fully puts it all together.
That's
you
true.
understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Because you talk about thick glasses and this and that and the next thing. When she puts it all together, see, she don't want nobody else looking at her. She's, it's like for your eyes only, baby. Exactly. Right. For your eyes only. So, when we go out, you know what I look like when I put it together. You know what I'm all about, but they don't need to know. They don't need to know.
In actuality, you're right about, because I heard it. I wasn't there to see it, but they had called up. They had called her up. So one friend had called her up or something, and it wasn't a close friend. It was one of the little secondary on the fringe type thing that they're the first one. You better watch your man. Your man was spotted downtown Main Street, and I don't know what's going on, but it wasn't you.
I like that.
Yeah, see,
I like that.
They made the call, called the wife because she was the wife, and she was like, "You fool! You don't realize
that was me.
That was me."
Exactly.
But you're not used to seeing her that way.
Exactly.
You see what I mean? So
yes, indeed.
We just don't know. We can't always rate it according to the outward look or whatever. It's that passion. It's that love. It's that devotion. It's that commitment. So a lot of women, I'm not knocking the women who do look nice on that level, but a lot of times they put so much emphasis on that they miss the real thing. What it's really all about. When you have a good man, you can't be doing this for some old joker who's not worthy of the commitment, who ain't trying to be committed. But when it's somebody like that, you don't have to focus on that stuff. You focus on what you have between each other, and you can't go wrong, because he ain't gonna forget that. Attention to detail. And wait now. This works both ways now. This is not just a thing where, yeah, girl, you gotta sit back and serve me and be and study me and what I like. No, you better be down here studying and learning what she like, how she like her toes, maybe the way she like her toes sucked. Suck the big one first before you get to the small one. Learn everything.
You're a mess.
Learn everything. I'm talking about toes now, but there's a whole lot of other things you could be sucking on too. Learn. Be a student of the game with this person. Commit yourself.
That is true. That is
there's
true.
Nobody
that is absolutely
out there
true.
can snatch you away, because most women and most men who are on the superficial level are not going to put that mind, body, and soul into it and learn everything you like. And this is another thing I told somebody the other day in the conversation. Well, Lance, when you learn everything, then what? Learn the shit after that you could never get to, because you just learn this stuff on a fantasy level. Okay, you learn this and you like this and this is what we like. Get into it. But now that you know that part, what's
learn
beyond
something else? Exactly.
Exactly. I'm not going to go too rude like on an adult night show.
Please do not. This is morning show.
but it's almost like the man who had the woman that in this position, she was servicing him, and he loved it when at the point of his peak, I won't even say orgasm, right?
Yeah.
That her bra strap or the strap of the whatever.
Oh, you are a mess.
And I did it for her. Just, oh my God. It just, I don't know why, but it did, right? And she made sure to keep on doing that. She also made that she loved it when she wore glasses. So I don't know what it is. When you do that to me and you wear glasses, it just feel better. Then keep wearing the glasses then.
Keep wearing the glasses. Exactly.
Find out what it is and make it better. Make it better.
The thicker the lens, the better.
For real. Ain't no thin lenses on this bad boy. Ain't some thick goggles and whatnot. You know what I mean? A retarded. You're half blind, so and so. You know exactly where to go. We should get that. That's funny.
Okay, don't choke yourself.
Something you know about, right?
I don't know anything. Stop it.
No. The thick glasses, and you know how sometimes back in the day when you have glasses, right, and the arm of it pops off and put tape on it.
Tape on it.
That just makes it feel better.
Oh God!
Wear the glasses.
Help!
Put some tape on it. I don't know.
It was just
shooting down.
It was just an imagery that came into fake black rim glasses and the lens, kind of more exaggerated. That's just what came into my head for a second.
Literally, it came into your head. Okay, all right.
Once again, my Freudian slip. What's happening to me here? Okay.
A lot of us are too afraid to state the things we like. Put some glasses on.
Oh, Romy, I'm so sorry. Please try and focus.
We gotta be receptive too now.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're gonna be like, "What you ain't put them glasses on? Just go ahead and do it." Right? Go ahead and put them glasses on. You don't know if that's turning them out. Just the same way with women who may like something and they're too shy to say. Follow the cues. You know?
Yes, indeed. And you know what? I really feel like, I've said it before in other conversations. When you get with somebody, when you get with a person, right? I think one of the things we really should do before you start jumping in the sack, especially if you want it to be a committed relationship, clear the air. Make it so that that individual can talk to you about any damn thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, I'll go first. Blah 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 blah. Oh no, folks, not on this channel. You won't hear me go first.
Everybody got quiet for a second.
I know.
She about to reveal.
Please. No, she's not. But what I'm saying,
too high.
Oh no, too high indeed. Too much. But you know what I'm saying. Clear the air. Talk about things. Not even, okay, this is what I like. Just put general stuff out there and talk about it. And as you're talking about it, you'll get a feel for what another person likes, don't like, might be willing to try, do. Exactly. So when it comes time, especially for women, because I think we're a little bit more hung up on, there are a lot of women who are not, but, for the majority, we're hung up on saying what we like or little quote unquote freaky things that we may want to do or try or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that word scares.
Yeah.
They feel they
exactly.
have to be a certain the parameter and
yes,
and or
if you say it, the guy is gonna look at you funny, or you know what I'm saying. So to me, those are the things that you do and you talk about, and you feel each. Once again, it's not a Freudian slip, but you feel each other out. You feel each other out. See where you're at in the things you like and don't like, and so there's no guessing. So when it comes time for all of that, you can hey, baby, you know, and it is what it is.
Right.
Right.
Right. And then when you come to that level, you can find the other stuff. That's the exploration. You know, open yourself up into, you know, share those things. It's a wonderful thing.
Yes. Yes.
Because
absolutely.
you know you're going to hit the ground running every time. Like I don't have to start preliminaries and wish for this or wish. And it could be something stupid abstract. If it works for you, it works for you.
Yes.
Stupid abstract. It don't have to make any sense. It don't have to make any sense. You don't have to question yourself. I don't know why I'm thinking this. I mean, as long as you're not thinking about like raping no babies and nothing like that, or doing something to hurt somebody.
Ridiculous, right?
Yeah, but we all have a different makeup, and we understand why. After a time, it's therapeutic. Why are you going to be uptight in that part of your life?
Right.
And expressing yourself and whatever, that's the fun part of it. For some people, it's just, well, this is just for procreation. Yeah, you go ahead and think that. But like I said before.
So why does it feel so good if it's just for procreation?
Exactly.
You understand? Exactly. You know why it feels so good? You know why it feels so good, especially for us women? So that after we go through the pain of childbirth and we bring that baby into the world, we don't remember what the hell we just suffered because it felt so good getting that baby. Right. So it makes it possible for you to go back again. Because if it didn't feel good and you had to feel pain to bring forth that child, you never go back.
Human race
wouldn't.
That's right. Human race wouldn't be around.
I know for sure I wouldn't go back. Oh God, please. You know? So yeah, it has to feel good and it's meant to feel good. And we have a mind to think whatever we want to think. But at the same time, respect the next person. Right. So if you have some off the wall idea of something that you want to do and it goes totally against the next person, respect that person.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's indeed.
I've had a chance to be privy to peeking in on people's situations and figuring out it's weird. I remember with my father on a certain job. It was a residential job, and we were wrapping it up. And there was an older white man in the house next door in the backyard, and we were doing the second floor. So they started playing this music, right? I mean, like this is a song I like, Heat Wave, the groove line, you know, leave your worries behind.
Yeah.
Rain and shine, won't mind, we're riding on the groove line tonight.
Right? Yeah. That's the only part I can sing with you.
so I'm sitting there, I don't know these people, but his wife was dancing with him in the backyard. And homeboy had what you call it? The clothespins, right? On his nipple. And he was dancing.
Oh shoot.
And I guess the way he was feeling up on it while they ran inside, I'm like, this must be part of their routine. And they were dancing, man. And she kept playing with him, and he was like in heaven. Oh, you can see him, right? And she snatched him off. He took his hand and walked inside. I could imagine. I guess it's part of the routine. And
that is too much.
They always do this. They always do this.
Oh my gosh!
Whatever it takes, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Whatever works. Whatever works. If it worked for you, fine. You know,
I'm always catching glimpses of stuff, though.
You're always catching glimpses of stuff. My God.
You know, like you have mediums.
I live in a box.
I'm like a medium who sees the sexual world and catch little snippets.
I don't see anything. I have never, except for the perverts on the B train going to school. You know, you pick up the train at Atlantic and you're going all the way out to damn near Coney Island. You know what I mean? By the time you get to the stop before Sewell Avenue, you've seen so much crap, you know, because the trains are getting empty and you always have those one or two pervert with the Inspector Gadget coat on, you know. I'm serious.
Yeah, how many times I've seen like women on the train, and some other woman like, "Excuse me, miss, you need to check your side of your dress." And then some
my
done
gosh.
shot his whole next generation on this woman.
Oh man.
Yeah, they get on. That's the problem in Japan in the public transportation, the subways, the trains and stuff. They get on with the purpose of doing that. Some days they don't even have to go to work just to go ride some woman's behind.
Exactly. Oh, I know. I've been on the trains. I've been standing up, when you used to have the straps, strap hanger, as they used to call it, know. And yeah, oh God, I've given enough men the like, I'll kill you look. Get the hell off of me. You know what I mean?
I remember having these. I was coming from the gym, but I wasn't going straight home. I don't know where I was going. Maybe doing some dirt or something. But it was a rush hour, and it was in Manhattan, and it was a number 6 train. I think I was going to go to the Bronx or something. And this woman backed up on me, like really, like it was crowded though, for real. But I'm like, what is she doing?
Right.
And I had the shorts where it was like and they had a little pouch inside. You didn't have to wear no underwear. It's like a little pouch. And then she's me, and my thing was between her cheeks, and she kept. Then I started reacting. I'm like, she give me no choice.
Because you see, she wanted to embarrass you. She wanted to do that, get a rise out of you, literally, and then get off the train or walk away and leave you standing there like, can you hide that? No, you can't.
But this was a good long while. And she had nobody saw it because we were all packed up on each other. And her back was arched and she was working it. And I was like, oh well.
Did it work for you? Did it work for you?
I didn't get to certain points. So of course, you hold back, but I mean, you might as well turn around and hand me a number or something. You know what I mean? I was like 19 years old, and I was very well built. I was competing and stuff like that. And she came straight over to me before the train got crowded and stood in front of me. And as it got more and more crowded, she pressed up on me. And that one door on one side didn't open up for a long time because all the stops will open up on the other side.
Right.
So she was, and
she had enough time.
And she walked straight off and left me like that. Don't leave me this way.
Of course.
Oh, baby.
And you had on shorts. So, you're
unbelievable. Oh, she fell off. The story got too hot for YouTube and she fell off. Ain't that something? Well, we'll wait for her to come back on. It's crazy. Yeah, and we're talking New York City. We're talking the early 80s. And there's a lot of things I saw. It was a different time back then. But yeah, I wasn't complaining, but I don't do that to women. I don't get up on the train and push up on them like that.
Right.
I'm sitting there even when I was in situations where you're close to them, I'm making sure that, I just couldn't do that. That was so sacrilegious. You don't do that to no woman. Get up there, hey, I'm gonna ride her backside. No. As a young man, you say, man,
so then why is it okay?
But I ain't gonna ride it. You know what I mean?
Why is it okay? So why is it okay for her to come ride your front side?
She backed that thing up on me.
She backed that thing up on you, right? So she gave you no choice but to ride her backside.
I know, but I mean, that could have been a little fantasy of hers or something, some innocent thing. A lot of that stuff goes on.
Yeah. Because she'll never see you again, more than likely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
She probably went home and got her fingers smelly and
Lance.
Enjoyed herself and
Lance.
I'm sorry.
Lance. It's a morning show.
Oh, I forgot what part of the morning. See, it's the morning show going toward noon, not the morning show after midnight. So
exactly. This is not one of those, guys, we were supposed to do this earlier, but we're just not getting around to it. No.
I know, right?
This is a morning show, Brother Lance.
Not the morning show.
No morning show. Morning. Rising. This is the. This is the.
Yeah, well, it's the rising show.
Yeah.
Rising.
Yeah.
Had a grand rising that train that day.
What's what Jupiter? Is that a thing? Jupiter rising or something like that? Isn't there?
I heard the term, but
that
I don't.
Terminology. I can't remember. Yeah, I was going to say another terminology, but I'll keep it decent. Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh. So bringing it all back around to Miss Jamie Lee Curtis and her son, or son, daughter, whatever it is.
Son, daughter combo.
Yeah, please don't. you may be unhappy in the long run. You may very well be unhappy. A lot of suicide has happened from people who have done these sex change operation. You remember when they used to call it sex change operation and all of that, and then all of a sudden all these, what they call it now, trans this and
this is
before that
sick world we live in.
Oh man. That's a movie, Superman. Oh yeah, Jupiter Rising is a movie. Yeah.
But how do they feel when they see somebody who is completely happy with who they are? And it's like, how do they feel? And then you have the powers that be that push this stuff. They're probably resentful when they see somebody happy with themselves being a certain way. Like when you see the Sentinelese out there like that, they're all happy and fresh. They got all their teeth. They're healthy. I'm quite sure there's very little cancer out there. No strokes. They're walking barefoot. They got the connection to the earth, and the sunlight, and the good food, and the exercise, and they sleep deep. And when they have their procreation activities, it's probably not even every night. It's not like a driven thing, like the sex-driven society that we live in, where I gotta get this every day. So we all juiced up too much that even like that, when you do it, it has got to be so satisfying, right? That you don't have to, because it's like dudes that I hear, hey man, I went over this girl house, man, I tore it up for 5 hours. Listen, it might not. How good could it be if you was up in there for 5 hours?
Tore who up for 5 hours? You better go home.
Know what I'm saying?
Not happening.
Yeah. It's just like going to an all-you-can-eat restaurant and you in there for 15 minutes.
And that's a bragging thing too. That's a bragging thing. They ain't nobody that fortunate or that good.
Like that. I was up in it for so. You're lying. You're lying. Break up with that girl and let her tell it. He ain't never last no more than a minute and a half.
Exactly.
I hear these guys on the bus. There's this one big fat guy. I mean, this guy was big and fat. Nice guy, but London Blue said he didn't do it right. Maybe she was sleeping or something, Maybe it was his mind. No, but this big fat dude, man, he would always talk about, last night, I was with this one. And every day was with another one. And he was, man, you can't even stand up straight for 5 hours. What you mean you up in something for 5 hours? When you have a stroke.
Probably suffocate every one of them. So it got to be a different one every night. Because every night they did. If he's that big, it's like plop down. It's like, oh my God, plop.
Then that gut, he had to have a wheelbarrow to carry around that gut. For years, a big gut hanging. From everything. I mean, and nasty too. You get on the bus and you smell his butt and his crotch. And
no, stop it.
To these women, and if I can smell you like that through your clothes,
no.
Off. And so, God.
It's so funny. They need correcting. Then you got some of these women who need to be beat. They need an ass whipping because a lot of these women, they'll get with these guys, right? And still do whatever. And then have the freaking nerve to come back and talk about it. Oh my God, his butt smells so bad. Well, why did you even continue to do anything?
Exactly. Exactly. And they with him the next night.
Yeah. Why didn't you take him in the bathroom and say, baby, go take a shower? We ain't doing nothing until you.
No, but see, some of these men, it's not even about a shower thing.
What is it, please?
And they'll still stink. And I don't mean just
Why?
the stink.
Is it what's inside of them? Yeah, that's true too.
The food, the stuff that's inside of them, but it's not even just that. It's just a stench. They stink anyway. The attitude, the essence, the thoughts, the physical, the spiritual.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Some people, man, you get around
that's
them
true.
and it's like,
that's true.
Even in public, and they get near you, you're not being judgmental. You don't think you're better than nobody, but you get around this, oh man, I don't want to be around this person. And it's
exactly. Because hey guys, hit the like button. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's your true. Spiritual voice and spiritual side talking to you. You know, you see some people and you're not going to get along with them. You know, I don't like, not that you say, I don't like this person, because you don't know the person.
Spirit, no spirit.
Voice, speak to you. You already see that this person is either a prick or self-centered or whatever, you know, just whatever. It's just crazy.
Exactly.
You follow that voice. We're not saying when you do it with your brain, like if you had a problem with very tall men who have buck teeth, then you see, well, he's no, you don't know that. But when it's something from the heart, you roll with that, because see, if we spend enough time to ourselves, with ourselves, quiet time, not when you say, well, I am meditating now, let me turn my palms up. No, but meditation can come. You can find yourself in a meditative state without even trying to meditate. You didn't even anticipate that. You could be window shopping by yourself and you humming along and you zoned out looking at stuff, taking your time, knowing that you can go home, but you're not, hey, let me go to this store, and you just end up zoned out. There's a lot of people around you. And crowds around you, but you're in your own world window shopping. You may go get something to eat. You're enjoying yourself to yourself, and you're in that still place. And when you come out of that place, and when need be, you can see straight through people. Doesn't mean you up in the mountains somewhere, Namreo Renge Kyo and all that. You don't have to do all that. You have to do all that.
You know what that means?
Huh?
Do you know what that means?
I said Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it thing there? She was doing that was a Buddhist thing or something like that.
Buddhist chant, because she's Buddhist.
I don't understand that part where you dominate your mind by saying something. You don't know what they're saying. It's like,
I was about to say that. You don't know what you're calling into yourself. Right.
And everybody else is doing it. Exactly.
No, sir, I'm not do it. I tell you, I've listened to some of these programs where they're talking about, you know, close your eyes and, you know, follow the light and this and that and whatever. Now say this 10 times. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't know where that's going or what that is.
I know.
Not doing it.
Yourself too.
Exactly.
But some people, when they hear something exotic or something different, and other people push it, like to say, this is the way, this is what you must do. How are you going to indulge in your thought process when you just give up your mind like that to saying something over and over? You're not developing. You're not thinking. You're not vibing with the world around you.
Still your mind.
Solution to a challenge, and I'm sitting here. I'm a vegetable then, and what am I calling down?
Exactly.
I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
I'm not doing it. That's like going to church.
As a matter of fact, I guess you could.
You need to go to church and pay the tithes, and well, that's what my mama told me to do, and that's what you do for yourself.
Right. Isn't it like that? It's not an analogy; it's a real thing where the kid grew up seeing their mother cut off both ends of the roast or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so they grew up and they did the same thing. And then their child came up, and of course, you know, the newer generation said, "Mommy, why do you cut off both ends of the roast before you put it in the oven or before you put it in the pan?" She said, "Well, I saw my mom do it." So she asked the mom, "Why do you cut off both ends of the roast before you put it?" Guess what the mother said? the pan was too small, so she had to cut. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you don't question things, you know, you just follow whatever somebody else is doing, not knowing why. You never ask, why do you cut it off? You know, is it no good? You know, does it make the meat taste better if you cut off the ends? What is it? You know,
Pan was too small. That was it.
the pan was that's it. The pan was too small. Go figure. My
Wow.
God. Yes, indeed. Unbelievable. So, are we going to be doing these live mornings as long as you are available? And
Of course,
I'm
I would like to
available.
make
We'll
it
do it
fair. I like to
live.
make it, yeah, every single day we do it that way. The 5 days a week,
Okay.
just stuff on
Yeah,
the weekend.
Saturdays and
But for
Sundays
sure.
we're off, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're still gonna do stuff, but like I said,
Right.
as we ascend, you know, this will be done every day, and I want to start, and maybe not today or later on, but I want to start the stuff in the morning like this, and
Yes.
have something in the evening that's live
Yes.
also, and
Exactly.
have stuff that I go out and get as far as like video or just like little short, little videos that you make for some, you know, or even like a little monologues, whatever. I'm still going to do all of those. What I want to do is have a regular schedule, but because of my own personal situation and movements, read between the lines, y'all, you know, as those things settle in, then once they settle in more, I can settle in and get a lot done all the time. And because I've been dealing with this flu, and like the other night there, when I was talking to you, now I couldn't get 3 words out without coughing.
I know.
It was bad. There's no way. You know, I want to do like 4 or 5 things a day sometime, and then being knocked out, I would sleep. I would, you know, get up, do something, and go back to sleep and lay around all day sweating, and get up and not know what time it was, and say, okay, we'll pre-record something for the morning, whatever. But you know, now we're going to keep this part up, and we're going to add that on. Probably from next week, we'll start doing some of the evening shows live too.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Starting on Monday, we'll try to do that. I don't want to start and can't do it. And there will be times when, because of things that are needed to do, you know, you got to go do some paperwork somewhere, or, you know, go deal with this or deal with that. Then we have to say, well, but I don't want to start and can't consistently do it. You know, so I'd like to in the morning. I'd like to do something in the evening. And in the evening, it's not going to be like too super late, because remember, right now I'm 4 hours ahead of everybody. So for me now it's 1:51 p.m. So if I was,
we would have to do it at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So exactly. So if I did something at 10 o'clock over here for 2 hours, that's 6 o'clock. That's like still kind of early. I mean, we could pre-record it, but I guess everybody likes to.
We like the I like the interaction. I mean, I guess we didn't really get a lot of interaction right now because a lot of people probably think that it's recorded, even if they see the show is up, you know. So it's like, oh, I'll catch it later or whatever.
This is what I promise.
Right.
I'm still under with a little bit. So tonight I wouldn't be able to do any comedy, right? I haven't been doing no Ant Hill Chronicles. I've been running around a lot all the time. But this week coming in is a week I want to do the full thing all the time. And it's not too much to ask, okay? We do a morning show. I'll go up on the Ant Hill, deal with that. Then come back, we'll do the evening show, and then we'll have a comedy night every week starting probably next Friday.
Okay.
We'll make that a regular thing, right? Because
put it in your calendar, folks.
Yeah.
I'm putting him on the spot.
I do a comedy show tonight, but like I said, I'm probably still going to rest tonight. I do a live show tonight, but I'm probably going to rest tonight. We might record something. I might do a monologue and see how things go. But this coming week, we'll make it a full week and keep it like that forevermore, unless it's something, and you can vouch for me, you know, that there's been a lot of things popping up that we have to take care of in our projects and stuff. But it seems as though there's going to be more stability that way. So especially 2 weeks from now, it'll be real super stable. But I can roll with this now, since we know where our destiny is going and how things are on the line. So I want to have a full week. I want to see that'll be a good feeling. Put in some time.
Yeah, let's
Morning
give it
show,
a
evening
try
show.
and see how that works.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
because you're still
yeah.
going to have, like, once Dr. Ramona Brockett actually, gets a chance to come
Yeah,
back and,
yeah. Because
so she will be up.
she's here and there. She has different little health issues she has to take care of.
Right.
So she may do something once a week for a couple of weeks, and you don't see her for a month. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I
And
said,
it
I'm gonna
is,
call her, see if we're gonna have those kind of shows. And I'm gonna work on that show today. I've been letting little messages here and there, and I had to run around too the other day. So we have everything there in this fabulous conversation. A little editing because we kept falling off. I got to adjust the volume and make it so it's not choppy or whatever. So
right.
I'm gonna back off right now and do some things and come back in and work on that. And then possibly we'll do something later on. It may not be live, maybe it will be, but I'll put that on next week. So as a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna schedule all the morning shows for next week.
Didn't we agree on that a long time ago that this was but you know what, I'm not gonna make it sound like you're not, because I do know. So going forward, as we go forward, we will, we're taking this to another level, folks, and we're working on it. We're really working on it. That's why we're back with the Rising Show. And I know you've seen, we've changed the title on several days now. We're trying to find the right way of titling the show so that it has a certain ring to it. That's what we're looking at. When you when you look forward to it, you say the Rising Show or, Grand Rising, whatever. We're working on it. So,
way we can just roll with it full throttle. Like, and on the weekends, there are going to be shows too. There's going to be things that maybe events that I do. And I'm so happy because now, that shipment is supposed to be within the next week of stuff that I'm supposed to get, and that will enable me to go live out in the street
anywhere, right?
And talk to people, microphones and all that stuff.
So like we could be talking. He could be live. I'm live with him, but he's out on the road. He's out on the street, man on the street doing his thing. Exactly.
Go events and do the stuff. Yeah. So it's just a matter of transporting the equipment and everything like that. But I'm gonna find
and you have that equipment that will make it possible for you to not have to worry about power. Oh my
God!
What I'm
trying to say. That's why I say we can take it to the street like we live now. You just don't see me. I'm hiding myself.
Yes.
I don't think anyone wants to see me in my birthday suit.
I don't think so either.
I'll get a text message. I want to see you in your birthday suit.
I know. Somebody might say it in the chat. Show us.
Yeah, but that'll enable me to go like remote anywhere, live, live.
Right.
Not like through somebody's little phone or something like that, but straight up where, we take it to the street. We take it to some event. What I want to do is connect up with somebody in one of these like clubs. I'm not a club person like that, but to show you that excitement, we post up somewhere, we ask a relationship question, we talk live, and we have people come onto the mic with the microphone, and it'll be live out in the street, and they'll see the chat room, and we can vibe that way. That would be dope.
That would be really nice. Yeah.
We go somewhere where it's not all up inside of a club, but it's in the street where they're selling some food and it brings some excitement. I would get a few fellas, a couple of females together, to be my bodyguards and watch the equipment and stuff like that. We meet up, we go out there and we do something like that. I get Lazia 75, come out there, whatever. We bug out that way and have some fun for an hour or two. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
What it really looks like, what it is, and people give their shout outs, and we have some fun that way.
Absolutely.
We're gonna make that happen. And when we do the comedy shows, the people who don't really know me that well and think, okay, he's this decent young man. Yes, I am decent, I'm respectable, but I'm gonna make sure that there's gonna be no holds barred. So even the people who are used to like, oh, you went too far, man, you too crazy, whatever. I want that to be, I'm not competing with nobody, but I don't want to have to hold back and not holding back. It's almost like hearing a comedian somewhere, but some church folks kind of ran it on the show like, oh my God, he's so nasty, he's so indecent.
Right. Folks, Lance broke my fishing wire. So, when these comedy shows come on now, I don't even know what I'll be using to reel him in. I might have to get some Siemens rope.
What kind of rope did you say? Siemens rope?
Siemens, not Siemens.
You're talking trains and purpose rather than trains. Siemens. S-E-A. Yeah, but I wanna talk about the things. And see, when we do these shows like this, it's not like I have some material written down. It's just straight off the dome. You just flip that way. That's the way I want to do it. I just want to do it and do a couple hours. Like we did that 6 hours. 6 hours of the show?
I know. Oh man, that was so good.
God. Yeah, I guess that come on too if you want to come on and be part of it.
Exactly.
What's her name? Kim
C.
She came on and she was in the truck laughing.
I know. Hey Willie, how you doing?
Just keep amping it up. But no, I'm gonna speak on some things and not hold back. I got that part of my mind. I can just rapid fire, just keep coming with stuff for hours. Because I laugh at stuff all day to myself, and my mind is twisted. So that gives me a chance to kind of empty the dump truck of all the things in my subconscious.
Yeah, your mind is twisted, all right. Because sometimes you'll text me stuff and I read things line by line. Guys, I'm reading line by line. And it starts off so nice. And by the time I get to the end of it, I bust out laughing because it's like, what the hell? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
crazy.
I want
joke man.
The show to have its own identity and things you can expect and stuff like that. And why not? Maybe I'll take the equipment in the street one day and do a comedy night in the street with people around. Who knows? And you'll see them reacting. We're gonna do some crazy things. A lot of things we want to do, and we have some fun. And there are comedy clubs out here. Some American based, some are Ghanaian. The Ghanaian mentality is a little different. They probably couldn't handle the things I say, like, oh, he's too rude, he's too forward, he's too, folks here a little more subdued, and they don't, it's like, they got the religious thing going on, so they wouldn't understand. They would be like, I'm just too nasty. I talk about things like, so it's not even about nasty. It's not even just shock effect. It's just speaking of things. Because when you laugh at something, this is what I've learned. When you laugh at something, you already know the situation.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you already know what it is. It's just that somebody has articulated it and put it in words. If you start cracking up before the punchline comes, because you already know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When they had a one-ply accident and doodle got on their finger. Nobody admits that. But the feeling that you have when that happens, you know what I mean?
Oh my God!
Yeah. You laughing too, so maybe you know what I mean. But I'm not trying to be nasty or lewd, but it's like
right.
Let's put into words the things that we don't tell anybody. You know what?
Listen. Let me tell you. No, I'm not gonna say what it is. There's certain hygienic things that I do for myself. As far as keeping myself clean and whatever. And I thought it was unique to me. I really did. I thought it was something that I thought up. And I was talking to a friend of mine one day. This is years ago. I was talking to her. I didn't say anything, right? But we were just talking, and the conversation, kind of went on that. And the girl opened her mouth and said she does the same exact thing that I was thinking. I was like,
God.
oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm like, you do that too? Because I couldn't imagine, because you always think you have an original idea. Well, there is no damn original thought. There is absolutely no original thought. Exactly.
It was already there.
It's already there.
Not eventually.
Exactly.
Just
Somebody else
shit.
is gonna do it.
Yes.
Where's she at? She's there. Hey, sweetie. Hi. How you doing? You
Yeah,
know, that
we're
is
gonna beat
so
down some
true.
shows though. We're gonna beat down some shows.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
are. Yeah, we
we're gonna
are.
beat down some shows. I'm ready for. I've been waiting for this a long time. Remember, y'all. And moving to another country. And I mean, we've been a constant on the shows and stuff, irregular, but still, there are things that you have to do and things that are unexpected and things. And remember, I'm not driving yet. So when I hang out, it's not like,
oh my God, you'll really be unstoppable. Can't really win. Can't hold you back.
Oh man, you're gonna feel like you live here.
Ain't nobody gonna hold you back.
That's right. What? Let me tell you something. And, my GoPro is the battery just messed up and it won't come out of the whatchamacallit. So it's through. I'm waiting to get the other one. But yeah, they got the GoPro 10 coming. So when I do start driving, trust me, I'm gonna hitch that GoPro on the front of the hood as I do my drives. See. So let's say I go for a 2 or 3 hour drive or up in the country or just different parts of the city. It's not a matter of holding up. You're going to see the streets. You're going to see every single thing just because.
That you see.
Special. But if you want to, I'm going to make a different playlist just for that. Just different drives. And just say, hey, if you bored or you're doing your house cleaning or laundry and you just want to feel like you're driving somewhere in Ghana, trust me, every time I go out, I'm going to get that kind of footage, even if it's a couple hours when I start driving, right? But I want to get that new GoPro 10 that comes out in September. And it's so much better. And the accessories that go along with it. So every year they come out around the fall with a new one. So that's why you haven't been seeing the GoPro stuff, whatever, because my camera's shot. I don't work the batteries, work the camera.
Oh, wow.
And you can take the old lens off and replace it with another one, as opposed to the GoPro 8 that I have, where you cannot change the lens. If it gets cracked, it's stuck with it. So there's a lot of improvement like that. So little mics and stuff I have to get and all that stuff. So, it's all those things to get that good footage and everything, make you feel like you're there. But there'll be, once I get some wheels, and I'm working on that now, but it's a wrap. It's going to be between the shows every day, 2 hours or so early, 2 hours at night, something in the middle, driving around stuff, whatever. You're going to have at least 6, 7, 8 hours of new content
every day.
Every single day. Because I'm walking with it every single day. Every single day. Watch. And then when I
can't beat that.
I have that we can go remote and record our stuff, and I don't have to be in the studio or in the home or whatever. That's even more. So if me and Mr. Scurv go somewhere and she's shopping or whatever, she's like, I'm gonna be in here for 2 hours. All right, you sit right there. I'm gonna call you up. We're gonna get more footage. More content in our conversation. I like to be nowhere near whatever. So I got it all worked out. The dream for me would be to have like 10 hours of footage a day between shows and stuff like that. Now that's pushing it, but it's going to be at least 6, 7, 8 ultimately when everything is running. You know what I mean?
I know.
So this week coming the angle every day, the morning show every day, the evening show every day, and the comedy show on Friday. We'll start out with that.
Please, folks, anybody who have Lance's phone number, if you don't see a show, blow him up. Blow up his number. Stop it. No, never mind.
The yellow and black stripes, brother. When I redo the dedicated space, I wish I can say more. It's coming better, but I'm gonna do a part of it just like that. The yellow and black stripes is gonna be the same paint, the same angle, the same thing. But and you already know, Empress, what's up. Man, it's gonna be like a little nightclub down there, and just the cake is there. We just got to put the icing on it. A couple more months because the cake is there. We just got to put a little icing on it, and it's gonna be dope.
And I'll pop up and surprise everybody. Guys, look.
No, I'm not feeding for this. It's not like, well, maybe we'll do it. No. I came out here with the sole purpose of saying, space like this, huge,
right.
We can You know, let me. I'm gonna drop a little something ahead of time just to see what it's gonna be. When we have the comedy nights, when that particular space is completed and done, first of all, it's gonna have the feel of an upscale nightclub. Number one, it's gonna have the feel of an upscale nightclub. The lighting, the incense, the colored bulbs, and we may have a couple little girls there in their little bikinis, drinks, and for the ladies, we'll have some guys with the 6-packs and the pecs, you know, whatever. And we're gonna have some live shows, people sitting around, multiple cameras, sexy, you know, adult, whatever. We're gonna have fun, and those shows cannot be any less.
And guys, for you guys that like the sexy BBWs, he's gonna have a couple of those too. You know, it's not just gonna be, you know, we're gonna have.
I'm just saying it's gonna be slender now. It might be some of the bikinis that might be BBW. I didn't differentiate that. For real.
Well, we just have to let them know that they're not going to be left out.
No, you got to represent the BBWs. I mean, coming up, I had my mind blown. Among other things, you know, BBWs are the bomb. Don't sleep on them. That's right. They blow your mind. No, but it's gonna be live. It's gonna be adult. It's gonna be good people, and you know, we're gonna have. It's gonna be a live something where it's live, and like I said, I'm gonna find a way to project the chat room onto the wall, big. See, people that are there can see it. They don't have to be no device, whatever, and then it's gonna be interactive that way. And I have this vision, and I'll have the equipment to do it, and I already do. Yeah. So, and putting that place together, you know. Indigo King, thank you. Salute,
thank you. Yes.
Oh, serious. This is why I don't have a midlife crisis, because I'm so fiending on that, and I haven't given out every detail because not everybody's going to be feeling good for you and the good energy.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. No,
but it is there.
Move in silence, Brother Lance. Move in silence.
I wish I could say so much more, but we definitely going to bring back the yellow and black stripes, and it may not be the whole area, but a good corner. If we want to do a show and emulate, and it looks just like it, but you're going to see the whole expanse, and you're going to be pleased, and you're going to know what it was that I've been working on so hard and fiending on to come to a different country and to go through the red tape and to go through all this stuff and sacrifice. Because remember, again, we ain't rich. You understand? We shot a flare up into the air to say, hey, this has to make it. There's no turning back. It's not like, oh, they have it like that and they're just leisurely. No. This is a life thing. I wanted to get away from America. I wanted to get away from that stress and that pressure. There are things here that can stress and pressure you, but that's exempt from me because, you know, I'm not on any one of those jobs anymore. But working with a limited amount of whatever, you better know how to, you know, save your pennies. So all help, appreciate it. But I'm doing this to make the experience something unlike anything else on the internet. I'm not competing with nobody. I'm not racing with nobody. When you see the things that we do and you see the original concepts, you'll know that we're not copying anybody. People will copy us, and that's okay. And if they can do better, that's okay. But we're going to be the original with these things, and it's going to be every single day. Something good coming every single day. And when I take it to the street, we take it to the street. We keep it in the studio. We do it in the yard. Mr. Scurv stuff, once everything is completed that way. Thank you, Empress. You know you ain't to do that. I'm gonna get you.
I know.
You only do so much for me. But yeah, like I said, with Mr. Scurv stuff there, with the yard and the garden and the farming stuff and everything like that, that's going to be basically every day too. So that's a whole array of things. And when that area is completed, if she can do the cooking things and do them live, I'm gonna set up cameras in that area. So as she's cooking, it's not like I gotta hold it over your shoulder. Nah, it'll be like facing down. Boom, 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 boom.
Right.
If you're eating something unique now, if I eat veggie burgers 3 days in a row, I ain't gonna do a show 3 days in a row with the same thing. But if it's something unique, then we're gonna show it. Whatever it is. So
I agree.
To line up to effortlessly come with this content because we live this. It's not like, well, we're living a certain way. We have to try. No. It's effortless. Okay, we're gonna slide into this or slide into that, do this. Well, it'll be effortless because it'll be all lined up, and it won't drain me. It doesn't anyway. It won't be there because I think we found the perfect balance and everything like that. There'll be things to talk about on the world level in the evening shows and current events. And remember, we haven't done call-in shows in a while. So when that other equipment comes, we'll do it better. And the call-in show, man, there'll be so much participation and stuff like that. And it won't be like, well, once a week or once a day. No, this is several times a day. And I'm not gonna take no days off, but when Sunday comes, do one show or something or whatever, or do like a big conference line or something broadcast.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Something just came back to me. Guys, can we just in the chat just give Sister Sekhmet a blessings on her Earth Strong? Today is her solar return.
Oh,
and
wow.
Let's just, I know, I found out yesterday. So can we just, send her some greetings, Earth Strong greetings. I love her so much.
Maybe later on we just come on and, just give a little time, and just have the chat room show us some love and surprise us with that. We just have a show where people come into the chat room just to leave the comments and stuff like that. And show us some love that way. Doesn't have to be like our show. It could be something for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. We'll do that.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I agree. Yes. So today's her solar return. Yes. Wow. I love her so much. You have no idea.
Yes, indeed.
And her little son, he is such a sweetheart. But anyway, Sister Sekhmet, if you are listening, you might not be able to chime in, hon, but if you're listening, Earth Strong blessings and stuff to you. Yes. Thank you, London Blues. Yes, it is. Yes. She is gorgeous. And she did she? She did. She supported me. Yes, she did. In my endeavors, she supported me. Yes. So I love her for that.
So much through this photo, you can tell so much. Like some people you can't, but when you can with some people, when they have a glow and there's a joy that radiates beyond the photo.
Yes.
Like they're not thinking about the photo when they took the photo. The photo captured their essence and it goes beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
indeed.
Thank you, Indigo King.
Thank you. So come on, guys, let's give her Earth Strong. Everybody who's in the chat and listening, let's just say Earth Strong blessings to Sister Sekhmet 7 or 7 Sekhmet, however you want to put it. Yeah, we can come back. We can come back later if you're available, Brother Lance.
I'll try my best.
Do something.
We'll do a little short something, and we do, and definitely. That's mandatory. But I'm gonna get ready to run soon. I don't know if there's anything more you want to say.
No.
I gotta run out and come back in before it rains. Looks like it may rain another 30 minutes or something.
Okay. No. We're good. We've done a lot. And we've said a lot, and I hope everyone enjoyed the show. And like Brother Lance said, we will be
this week coming is going to be a week.
We're going to make it. We're going to do our very best. Right. Hi, Amari. You stayed in the shadows all the way until now, huh? Wow. How you doing? We're going to try to make it. Give it our best shot. At least with the morning shows, we're going to try to, make that a consistent thing. So you have something to look forward to on your morning drive. All right?
Yes, definitely. So, I'm going to make this one out. It's been so enjoyable. I have fun, and it's always going to be fun and informative and, real talk and stuff. So many people prostitute that with real talk, real talk. Come on, from the heart. There's no script here. We didn't even know what we were going to say. We just got on.
No idea.
But that's the best way. Exactly. I hit you a little bit before. I said, listen, I'm going to send you the link. Boom. You get on, whatever. We didn't know. But that's that's the best conversations are organic and shoot from the hip.
This is one of those shows where we didn't have a 3-hour conversation before we went live. It was literally the show starts in 5 minutes. I sent you the link.
Yeah. But I'm glad I got the rest and everything last night. I'm glad that we said we're going to do, do it like that. TT Brew 47. Much love, my sister.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
so look forward to it being live, so this way when we actually come, yes, so you don't see it and go, oh, I can listen later. We want the interaction. So
if you can't make it, you can still listen later, but it's going to be live. And
exactly.
we'll be playing around with adding in some clips of different things, or little visuals or whatever. Because you can do that on this program. I just got to learn it and make it more interesting. So, once I learn those things or whatever, but the best is yet to come. With the comedy show, another couple of weeks, I want to set it up where we're not at the ultimate location, but I want to set it up where I can pull back the equipment and show more of a full body thing. So if I'm joking about something, I'm going to show you how a person's walking funny, or just
I told you I'm never going to walk in front of you, right? I'm never.
That's one of my weird talents,
Never.
I can see you walk for like 5 seconds and imitate you. Like I used to do that in high school, right? In Manhattan, because I went to high school in Manhattan, and we're walking with some friends of mine, and we're walking towards somebody. It might be some man. I'm not making fun of anybody crippled now. I'm just saying it might be somebody who has a funny walk. Queen Rat Rogers, thank you so much. and I'll turn around behind the guy and walk like him, and everybody's cracking up, and he don't even realize it.
Oh my gosh!
And the voices.
I'm not doing it.
I was always a sponge that way. No.
I'm gonna make sure you're in my line of sight at all times. At all times.
Especially when you're like in your adolescent phase and guys are comparing stories and so what happened? Did you get through last night? Yeah. So what noise did she make? What? Oh, that's what she. And I make the noise just like I'll make the face.
No.
Yeah. It was always funny. They say, "Yo, Lance is crazy." That's the way, Yeah. But that's just growing up. I'm just normal. Especially like sometimes when you get somebody who's a jerk, like a waiter in a restaurant who has an attitude, and you want to imitate him and kick back the way he talks, and it pisses people off. Like when you get them like that,
of course.
Something on the bathroom wall.
Of course.
Or the napkin. I'm a clown that way. But I can catch it right away.
Speaking of pictures, that one photograph you took at the restaurant, that is such a striking image, right? And
I had to take it. It's on the Instagram if you want to see it.
I screenshot it. I did exactly what you did. I screenshot it, but I saved it rather. And then I expanded it and cut out all the little bits and pieces around it. So now I have it almost like it was a painting that I purchased.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I looked on Instagram and you had it up there and I was like, oh, wow. Because it's just so striking.
I want to do something like that. I'm not going to copy the exact thing, but that's the kind of artwork when it comes to painting, because I paint better than I draw, but nobody knows.
You told me. Yeah.
So I want to do big things like you see up at the mall, and big, like 8 feet by 8 feet and all that mess type stuff. And when I have the space, but when we're there, I want to be able to, go out in the sunlight and, put down some time for an hour and make it
That's
happen.
A good feeling, isn't it? You have a canvas and, you just sit out there and you just let your creative abilities flow.
You can't buy like that. You got to have it made, or you got to get it and stretch it across and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Big. You know what I mean? And ultimately, Miss Tiva Station, thank you, my dear sister. Happy Friday to you. And we're going to put the work in. Trust me.
Thank you, sweetie. Yes,
this week will be a turning point, for everything and just on that level. But I want to do that with the paintings, with the drawing. Everything's gonna be full throttle, but it'll be like when you're cruising. When you go 90 miles an hour down a turnpike, and it's effortless. But when you were in the traffic, to get out of it was like, oh man, I want to get it. So when you get on that flow, everything happens so easy because you're on that, you got that momentum going on. And this is what I'm trying to create. And I can't get to it fast enough because of all the different changes that are necessary when you go over to a whole different country, building.
I mean, it's an acclimation period. You have to get your footing. You got to find your way. You got to know what works.
Because it's a sacrifice too. And the sacrifice of the dwelling right now.
Please.
it's you got to
People
be
have no
focused.
clue. People have
It's not like
no
right,
clue.
and some
No.
luxurious whatever right now. It's just bare
Mm-mm.
bones. Do your work, get some
Mm-hmm.
air, come back. Do your work, get some air, whatever. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a training
Mm-hmm.
camp. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even it's not like I'm enjoying and living this high life or whatever have you, you know.
You're making the best of it. I need one more like for 50, guys, please. Before I
Oh, you can get that too. If I asked, it wouldn't happen.
please, one more like. I don't
She
know
has
who's
that
on here
voice.
that hasn't hit the like button yet. Please, 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 just one more. Come on, family. This is not bingo. This is the live show.
You know, the likes do help. They help with the
Thank
algorithm.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they really
Thank you.
do
Thank
help.
you.
It
Yes,
does help.
they
I
do.
mean, I
They
never
do.
realized it until not too long ago. When I said, like, what is this thing with the likes? And I researched it. I was like, wow,
Right.
it
Yeah.
really helps to push up the
Put
visibility of a
you
particular video,
exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
'cause it is very important because they are trying to. You see how everything went up, and they're trying to hold everything the same way. YouTube is full of games.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
we're
Yes.
going beyond that, and we're
Yes.
building a legacy, and we're going to have fun doing it, and hopefully we can lighten up your day, make you laugh, maybe something you didn't know.
Yes.
We pass along some information or something,
Right.
you know, whatever it may be, you know, just to make it with like, wow, we're doing this, and to make you feel connected, whether you call in or not, or even if you just there and
Right.
just listen. Or whether you don't even say anything in the comment section, you just chill and listen to say, "Man, I like this." You know,
Yes.
if you want a fantasy, you got to be a fantasy. You see what I mean?
I not lie that. A truth. I
No, but
not
if you
lie that at all.
no, but if you
Mm-hmm.
want something, work on being it, and it will come to you. So if I want to, you know, I want to do a show that I would want to listen to. You know what I mean? Like certain aspects of it, different
Yeah.
aspects of it, you know, different
Mm-hmm.
types.
Mm-hmm.
So what would I
Mm-hmm.
not that what I want is what everybody wants. All I'm saying is that let's embellish it. Don't wait. Just I'm not gonna wait to copy somebody. Let me go make it happen already. Like when I say once
Right.
video and
Right.
everything in that space and it's gonna be
Right.
so nice. You're
Hi,
gonna
Queen
let me tell you
Irie.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Queen Irie, yes. How are you? Chris King. Yeah, but
Chris King.
listen, when we do those adult shows where it's either comedy or spoken
Just
word,
straight up. Yeah.
we got the
Mm-hmm.
cameras rolling around and you seeing people. It's not some little cramped up room. It's going to be sizable. When we do that, the
Mm-hmm.
shows are going to be so good. You gonna want to dress up just to watch it. Nobody can see you, but you're like, oh, I ain't wearing no t-shirt.
Can't
I
be.
gotta put my
Yes,
dress on.
because
I gotta put my
guess
outfit
what,
on.
guys? Lance will have to put on clothes. So if
Yeah.
if we put clothes
Oh
on,
yeah, I
we
will have to. Yeah, I'll be there. I have to. But yes, Sinovia, I'm gonna sell the paintings. You know, and it's not gonna be like, yes, I'm charging $1,500. No. It'll be. I just want to
no.
get the bad boys out and the joy of
Well,
it. Now, buy stuff, colors and stuff like that.
right,
Yeah.
Mr. Lance, Sir Lance, Sir.
Mm-hmm.
You like you said, you will have digital artwork, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But sir,
Uh-huh.
stop saying when you buy canvas and you mount canvas on frame and depending on the size and what have you, and if you do a nice big one and you have to crate that bad boy up to ship it over to whomever from
I
wherever.
understand.
Okay, that's
I
all I'm
understand. You
saying.
got me.
That's
You
all
got
I'm
me.
saying.
But
Okay.
the beauty of it is that even like a piece that I do,
Mhm.
it's going to be an adventure because that'll be a whole different wing of things. Because if I'm up by the side of the house or whatever little area I designate and I pull that canvas out, there's going to be
Like my
videotape. And I'll
butterfly
be
that you're
painting and
gonna make
talking,
for me.
painting and talking. There might be like a whole bunch of videos on that one painting until it's done. And then you have
Right.
like the history of it. Like you'll see it right there as it happens.
Right.
And
Right.
that's another
And
element
so
of it.
when somebody decides that they like it and they want it, they will pay for it. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't have to
yeah.
say it's not going to be much. Don't put that out there
Right,
to the
right.
universe. I'm
I
not
know.
talking about answering to Sister London or anything like that. So, it's not about answering to her. It's about putting that limited way of monetizing your work or putting value on your work. monetary value.
I'm gonna put some. It's gonna be quality like acrylic paints. I like the acrylic paint that has the body on it, that when you can see the actual stroke of the brush.
Eric, you're funny. You're funny. I like that. That is the best thing I've seen all day. That is good. That is good. You're funny. You're funny. Very good, Eric.
Well, in actuality, you know, government name-wise, my name is Lancelot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But that is so funny, Sir Lancelot. Best thing I've seen all morning.
And for those who don't know, when I used to drive the dollar van out in Queens, New York, I had that van that on the back of it that said Sir Lance.
Sir Lance, I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who hear this later on and be like, "Oh, that was you. That was you." Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
that's why I asked. That's why I say that. I call him Sir Lance. Yeah, that was good, Eric. Very good.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
So the painting part of it is going to be all fun. It's going to be joyous and just and I will tell you one thing. I love the female form. You know, I love the male form and how they intermingle. Yeah. So there'll be a lot of not just abstract. It's not just going to be something that it's just a setting that okay, that's a normal looking setting. There will be abstract things, but I love the sensuous side of things. I love the female form. There'll be a lot of that. There'll be a lot of erotic, not lewd, but erotic stuff. The embracing, the cuddling.
I would like to see an example, please, if you don't mind, so I can, see an example of what your work is going to look like.
Oh yeah. No, I'm going to make sure. Yeah. Yes. Every step, I'm not hiding anything when I do. And Indigo King, you're right. If I was really to break down how things happen on this channel, they done choked it off real bad, and they're not letting us know the numbers that are there. I did that Boule video, and all of a sudden, we jumped 2,500 subscribers.
They are.
And now the numbers are chopping down. I lose 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50 subscribers a day.
Yeah.
And it's to frustrate you. But this channel is so established. There's got to be probably 1 million subscribers on this channel that we don't know and we won't see.
Exactly.
And I'm not even trying to scoop myself up. But after all these years being on and the constant work and stuff, it doesn't even bother me anymore. It's just a matter of, let's at least connect with the people. And as we bring our connections elsewhere to other platforms, that's where it's at for me. It's crazy. And I don't think that
we vibe with who we vibe. Right.
I'm Lancescurv, so I should have these people. No. I don't think that. But I mean,
we have our good people. We say 1,000 strong, and we know you have more than 1,000. But trust and know, guys. We know who vibe with us. We know who ride with us. We know the steadfast people. You know what I mean? And so we're here for you. That's it. We're here for you. Not.
Just check it right now. I'm going to go into my analytics thing. We have 109,613 subscribers. Yesterday, it was 109,673. So I lost 60 subscribers within a span of 20 hours.
Imagine?
And then it may climb up 5 or 10, then drop down 3, climb up 20, fall down 30, but it will steady go down. It's weird. It's really weird. And that's what they do. Yeah. So, because like I said, we speak what's on our mind, and we're not going to be compromised. We're not trying to insult anybody, but we're going to have a real conversation. And even still, I'm not going to just put up stuff to make me look good. You know what I mean? The compilation of the few who responded to the LGBT Be Fruitful and Multiply video, which some folks say, what are you talking about? You want more of them? No, and people missed the point. But like that first person,
they did.
Are you a fraud? And I'm embarrass you. And I'm like, hey, I played it. I'm not going to sit here and not. You know what I mean?
You saw in the comment section, right? People weren't fooled. People weren't fooled.
Yeah. So I'm not just going to delete that and play something that's agree with me. No, but I mean, they went in I'm some fraud and I'm a fraud and we want you banned. And, I didn't speak in Venezuela. I got a lot of responses from lesbians and gay people that weren't public.
Exactly.
That, understood.
That understood.
It didn't mean you had to have a child come through your loins. We need the sperm, we need the egg to make more of us, so we don't want to make more of us and can't handle. So
exactly.
if that's not the case, if that's the case where you have a child, what's the point of making more of us and then that kid is starving or living in subpar conditions?
Right.
Invest in a situation that's already in progress. You might be a gay man a gay black man who's well-to-do, well off.
Yeah.
So you know what? My way of procreating and my way of supporting more of us is to make sure that these children here get a heads up and go into this particular school where they can learn this trade or this specialized whatever. You know what I mean? Or my way is donating to this project where these children who are they were abandoned and they were in these homes and we want to build something better for them. Just support yourself. Just because you're gay or lesbian, that don't mean you're going to turn your back on who you are. You're black.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to say. The LGBT, the white LGBT, they love you when yes, we're lesbian and gay and we're fighting for our rights. But if you say, I am lesbian, I'm gay, but you know what? I'm black first. And I want to make sure
there
my
you go. There you go.
First. They ain't going to treat you the same way. Them white folks who are in them rainbow, whatever, they ain't gonna treat. We can't use them for our purpose, so they're talking that black stuff. See, you're supposed to abandon yourself when you classify yourself in that category. You're supposed to abandon your people. What they expect you to do. But the minute you say, I can't forget my people. I can't forget about them starving kids we got in the neighborhood, or they don't have the resources, or they don't have the love. So even if you don't make more, support the ones that are already there. But if you can make
that's
more,
absolutely true. That's
it. Said they don't agree, like, if you're in that and you have a child, it's gonna make them confused. Whatever. We are being killed. If we gotta make more that might be a little confused, so be it. That's better than us being wiped off the face of the earth forever. Because once we're wiped out, there's no bringing us back.
Exactly.
We can always come back. You see what I mean? So I don't understand
Sister
that.
Rena is here. I haven't seen her in so long. Rena, how you there, sweetie?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely correct. See, and if people actually listened to what you were saying, really listened to what you were saying, they wouldn't be butthurt.
Exactly. Because you tell me, say you hate gay men. Say you hate gay black men and you drop down and have a heart attack. And there's a heart specialist that happens to be a gay black man, only one in town who could save you. What you gonna do? Say no? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now, I'm not advocating or pushing, or he's bending and he's accepting this and he's trying to work along with this. No, but this is life or death right now. It's worse than it was 20 years ago. Our position, when you really look at it. When you really look at it.
Because it's just like we just said.
Yeah. So and it's moving faster. So it's not going to take another 40 years. Don't you see? They know they're on the way out. These white folks, and 9% of the world population, can have birth, reproductive issues, and they're on drugs too, or whatever.
And they're putting stuff in the stuff that we're eating and drinking now to make us infertile.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
But it's a lot of it is documented. So
that's right.
It's not even allegedly anymore. It's documented proof that a lot of people are being sterilized. You know, even if it's not in this country, but there are countries out there that it's known, and they're sterilizing us. You understand? We are the ones that they're sterilizing. So we do a disservice to ourselves when we when we are in that community of colors. You understand? When we don't recognize that in order for us to continue, in order for us to be more of you, since, hey, let's just, call it what it is. You say you are this. There won't be much of you guys left if we're not procreating, and giving the new ones coming up a chance to decide how they want to be. You understand? So understand what Brother Lance was saying in that video, in that particular show. Hear it, absorb it, and do what you need to do.
Take out of it what you can utilize.
Let's keep our people going. Yes.
Yeah.
Take care of us.
There's too many categories that separate us anyway.
Yeah.
And we start thinking about just the category that we're in. There's It's crazy.
Exactly. You know. So, my dear brother Lance.
Yes. I'm going to make this run.
This has been lovely, wonderful. Thank
Conversation, very
you.
enjoyable. Yes.
I
And we'll be back
appreciate it.
with this particular show, and
And like
we'll
I
do
say,
tonight, tomorrow, and
right.
the weekend, and everything.
I tell you all the time, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything
you too,
that
man.
you've done, for us, for me.
It's all love. It's all love. And like I say, for me, I'm not looking for no attention. For me, this is bringing back the good old days that I miss.
Yeah.
I know there's enough of us out here who know the good old days and crave it and sometimes feel lonely for it. That's all it is. For me to bring, just to say, the cookouts we used to have, little parties we used to have, and just coming home to a neighborhood and you're outside feeling good, and all your neighbors. Now, sometimes you're the nosy ones, the hateful ones, whatever, but overall, that good feel, the good music, a good 70s music, 80s music, whatever it may be, 60s music, and just that one accord thing where you go sit on somebody's steps and you just sit there into the wee hours on the weekend and just laugh and have a good time.
Oh, man. Yes.
Right.
We
So
need
even
that.
though we may not be physically near each other, we can have that essence and that soul and whatever. Even if a show is finished, you can go back and listen to it. And before you finish listening to it, there's 2 or 3 more shows just like that, conversations just like that, where you didn't have to rehearse. You don't have to rehearse for a show. I mean, if you have a show topic or a guest, that's one thing. But when you were on the weekends enjoying yourself, you might have been cutting the hedges, cutting the grass, and we're gonna do something a little later about so-and-so's yard later on. You're gonna come? Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there, baby. To bring.
Well, that's how we do it on these shows. Yeah.
We used to have parties in each other's house, and it just bring 2 chairs. And you had chairs all around the edge of the room, a red light bulb, and one record player. You know what I mean? That you had to take the thing off and put it. There was no mixes, but we had to stand up between each song. Everybody even brought their own record and put a mark on it.
Play this one.
Yeah, exactly. You might have had like rocking chair. Let me be your rocket. And I think 4 of them there. Like, which one? And you couldn't tell. Well, play it. I can tell by the scratches, because
exactly.
You knew, you know what I mean?
So you know exactly where it comes in. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that whole thing where you felt good, and then later on everything's done. I'll get my chairs tomorrow, baby. Whatever. And it was just beautiful like that, man. The ice cream truck would come around, and everybody get what they want to get, and the kids running around nice, and you didn't have to worry about certain things. We know we had people who were molesters back in those days. We hear the stories and different things, but for the most part, it was harder for them to get away with a lot of things that they do now. But it was a beautiful time, and that's the feeling in your heart. That's the result that I want to have with the shows.
Yes.
That you have that good feeling in your heart when you walk away, that glow, because this world will go against anything African and Black to strip you of any joy, to make you feel like you're less than, to take that happiness away, because the enemy doesn't like us to be happy and joyous, even when we may not have as much money in our pocket, even when we don't have the ultimate situation. We don't have to wait for that. We can be happy as we are. Look how many times when in life, when you look back at your own situation and say, man, I didn't have much then, but you knew how to laugh real hard. You knew how to get together with the people who are around you and have such a good time. But now that we're older, and a lot of us have some of the things, well, we have the car, we have the home, whatever, and we're empty inside. I'm not saying you're empty. It's just that the things that are out there is not out there no more. The joy we thought was going to be out in the world is gone.
Exactly.
So we got to cultivate that. And the only way to do it is go in ourselves and be our Black selves, our African selves again, and show that love. So that's my way of just jump starting it. And then when people see that it's something regular and it's a good feel, and sometimes we have debates and disagree. Sometimes people get mad or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I had a good time. So if I could bring
guys, utilize the comment section after the show. We really sometimes I put questions in there, or I'll put a note that, look, we want to get suggestions. That's what the comment section is for. We want to be here every day for you, but we want to hear some of the things that you would like to have us discuss. So put it in the comment section. Talk about things. We're not just looking for you to comment on this particular show per se. Just don't ask where is this. Don't ask where is such and thus. Don't ask. We're such and thus.
Yeah, I know.
Send an email or a text message,
Right.
But just put in the comment section what you would like to hear. If you like this particular show and it's something that you want to talk about, that's beautiful. But we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Yeah.
That'll work. So anyway.
Yes, sir. Anyways.
And it's been great. And I'm looking forward to it. And that's what we're all about. And there's going to be so much of this coming up. And as long as I'm alive and breathing and well and beyond, we're going to keep that feel going. And that's what it's all about.
Yes, indeed.
Of our happiness and strip us of our joy and leave us with nothing. And we don't need them. We don't need our enemy to be happy from within. We don't need our enemy to have the village mentality. I don't care if we're thousands of miles away from each other. We're still connected as long as we understand the spiritual and that we're right here with each other. That technology we're using for the betterment to know that we're right here with each other. You're not alone. You have family. You have loved ones. You have people you can talk to. You're not alone. Right. If sometimes the topic you want to talk about, hit me up and say, Lance, I want y'all to talk about this. I don't want to get in it, but I want y'all to talk about it. We'll do it. If you want to get in it, fine. You got something you want to share, fine. So this is not therapy for each other. See, white folks, they don't talk like that. They have all kind of issues harboring up and festering up, then they go kill themselves. We should be talking with each other and not ashamed to talk with each other. Even if you call me and say, I don't want anybody to know this is me, but I want you to talk about this specifically. I'll do it. Yeah. I'll tell people's business like that. There are a lot of things I know about many who have shared stuff with me, and I've shared stuff with you. Yeah. And some of y'all know in the inner circle what I've been going through since I came out here. So come on. That's what it is.
Yes.
You're right, Gregory.
Hi, Gregory. Yeah. How you doing? What is he?
Yeah. So let me run right now.
Indeed. All right, my dear sir.
Thank you so much, everybody. And
thank you. Take care, Brother Lance.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Much love.